Thank you to Beathan and the Clones for that wonderful intro. Wasn't it fantastic, everyone? Woo! Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Show with a capital W, your favorite, my favorite, everyone's favorite late night TV show. Guys, I'm joined here once again with my co-host Bim.
Yo.
And today we have not one, not two, but three wonderful, very special guests, and then one other guest as well. And I cannot wait to introduce them to you all. It's going to be such a blast having them here. Are you guys excited?
Yeah!
Woo! Awesome. We'll keep that energy up for JC Cola.
Hey, guys!
Grayson.
Howdy.
Hans.
Hello.
And then also Steven.
Hello.
Thank you, Steven. How does it feel to be here, everyone?
Marvelous.
Honestly, it feels incredible to be here. Like, there's a lot of energy here tonight that I feel from this live audience.
Exactly. How does everyone feel to see them here?
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! JC, I know you specifically have been a longtime fan of the show. Can you speak on how just surreal it is to be here in the building?
Yeah, like, I used to watch Show with a capital W back in the golden age, you know? Like, when I was little, like, this was my favorite late night talk show. I would watch every night, guys. And, yeah, no, it was incredible until, like, the co-host came along and things changed a little bit along the way. But I was so huge into this. And so, like, to be here tonight on the show, it's a big deal for me personally.
Oh, thank you so much. Bim, not so much. Grayson, how does it feel to be here tonight?
I don't know what this is or really why I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't really know why you're here either. However, you're here and we're going with it. Hans, I am so excited to see you here tonight.
And I am so glad to be here. It's been a long time coming, honestly. Coming.
Steven.
What's up?
Cool. So, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but we are joined by the two creators of one of my favorite wrestling competitions, the Cowards Unwelcome Universe. And I'm hearing in my earpiece that you guys have an announcement for us about the new event.
You are so right about that, W. And that announcement is that coming up later this month in the beginning of 2022 will be Cowards Open Championship Knockout. That's right. You heard it here first. Cock will be taking place later this month. And Grayson, let everyone know a little about what they'll be able to see at Cock.
We have put so much work into this fight, tournament, battle, royale, as they say, Cock, our mutual Cock. We're so proud of everything that's going to be introduced.
So many matches.
Cowards Unwelcome, the new toys, a brand new segment to any of our tournaments in which we'll be introducing countless new fighters, all with a chance.
8.
Countless new fighters.
Okay.
You can't even count them. There are too many.
There are a lot.
I certainly can't count the 8.
Can you? Hans?
There's at least one. It's so many.
More than 3, and that's way too much for me.
And included in that number of competitors in the New Toys tournament are going to be faces like McReal.
Oh, my goodness.
Bichelle.
Oh, my goodness.
Parker.
It just gets better and better.
Davy Crockett.
Oh, my God.
And there are a couple others. We don't want to give everything away here.
Of course. No, we need something to look forward to.
But you want an exclusive?
Of course.
You want to know who else is going to be in that Cowards Unwelcome tournament?
I would love to hear it.
None other than, and I believe he's been on the show in the past, W, it's Ben Shabibo.
No way.
That's right.
Funny you say that, because we actually have Ben Shabibo in the audience today. He was in the area and he just wanted to come in. Ben Shabibo, can you come out from the audience?
What a coincidence.
Look at him. He's making his way down.
Oh.
He's looking kind of muscular lately.
Yeah.
He's getting ready.
He's filling out that jacket.
Hello. I am Ben Shabibo. Would you like tickets to the gun show?
Yes.
Here they are. I've been working out relentlessly for Cowards Open Championship Knockout. And I am more than excited to present myself as a fighter, because I, unlike everyone else in the tournament, am not a coward.
Of course. And then also, let's give you another exclusive, because, you know, this show does hold a special place in my heart. I think we give you another exclusive, W. Shabibo, your opponent in the New Toys tournament in the very first round is going to be against none other than the hero of the Alamo, Davy Crockett. And so I just want to know, how does that affect your your mindset heading into the New Toys tournament?
I am an American first. This rogue, this rebel of the Alamo, is a coward for dying on American soil. Will not stand for this great stain on our great country's history. That is why I'm going to beat Davy Crockett into a pulp and put him in my orange juice. Thank you very much.
That is some incredible facts and logic. Exactly what you would expect.
And you know
from Ben
what,
Shabibo.
guys? I don't know if the audience at home can see this, but Ben Shabibo just knocked over 3 chairs and ran out.
Oh, wow. Well, he's just
Screaming.
so big. He's so hulking. He can't control
Exactly. He actually turned green and
wow.
became 6 feet tall.
That is insane.
Oh, so when Ben Shabibo hulks out, he only gets to 6 feet tall?
Well, he's so short to begin with. There's only so much he can go up. Yeah, exactly.
No, I understand.
Exactly. So you guys have done a lot with the Cowards Unwelcome universe. So I would just really like to know how this started, how this idea was conceptualized.
Yeah, and we would love to answer that question. Again, all your questions regarding Cowards Unwelcome. But before we do that, Chargle, before we do that, W, we had something else that we wanted to promote. And we were just wanting to make sure that was okay with you.
Of course. You know what? I really want everyone on my show to feel comfortable. It's our show.
Yeah.
So I just go ahead. Take the reins.
More than just us being comfortable, I want everyone in the audience to be comfortable as well.
Oh,
you know?
my goodness.
So
how chivalrous of you.
Thank you very much. And so, audience, who here pays bills? Show of hands.
That's a lot of hands I'm seeing. Every single audience member has their hands up.
You know, and those bills, they're so pesky. You got rent, you got water bills, electricity, and it's so annoying having to pay that every week. Every week, guys. And
you're paying yours every week?
Yeah, aren't you?
Of course.
Okay. And the costs, they add up along the way. But we have a solution for that. Because we here
At the company
have a solution. Grayson, take it away.
We would love to introduce to you the idea of your rent payments, your weekly rent payments, your weekly water payments, your weekly electrical payments. Instead of you paying them, they pay you, making your money work for you. Ever heard of a residual?
I don't think I have.
That's cool.
What's a residual for those who might not be acquainted?
A residual is money.
Ooh.
So you're telling me by just living, I can make money?
By just paying your bills. Just paying the bills you already pay.
Where does this money come from?
The residual.
Obviously. God. Are you stupid or something? Please go on. Please continue.
So, here at the company headquarters,
Of course.
on company headquarters lane,
Of course.
we would like to tell everyone about how, through a definitely not pyramid scheme, you can sign up to pay all of your bills, and we will pay you for paying your bills when you sign up with the company. And if you sign up a friend to pay your bills with the company, then that friend will also make you money when they pay their bills. And if that friend signs up their friends and they pay their bills with the company, then you make money off of their friends' bills.
Oh my goodness. This does not sound like a pyramid scheme at all.
Who said pyramid scheme?
You did.
No, I didn't.
No, it's just a way to get the community involved and frankly, an organization that wants the best for the community.
Multi-level marketing, as some say.
Exactly. Now, how can my audience members, because I care for them dearly, they are my friends, my family, how can they get a part of this company?
As we said, we're headquartered at company headquarters on company headquarters lane. So you can always find us there. You can also go to companyheadquarters.companyheadquarters.ch, obviously standing for company headquarters,
of course.
And sign up there. You will then have to mail the sign up sheet to the company headquarters on company headquarters lane. But once you've done that, you're set.
And what if my audience members and myself are not in the same location as these company headquarters? Are there
that's why it's the mail. That's why we always have the mail address. But if you need help, if you need assistance in signing up, let me tell you, we got a guy in Texas. We might have one in Maryland, I think.
We got a couple in New York.
Couple in New York.
Right here.
Well, no, we have one in New York. The other one, that's the guy in Texas now.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah.
We had a couple in New York.
Yeah. So if you find them, they'll be walking around.
Yes, and I've heard through the grapevine.
You know those
You know
grapes.
the grapes?
Yes, I do. I've heard through the grapevine that if you just walk down the street, they'll find you. They can sense it.
Oh, they do that, yeah.
So, yeah.
And actually, if everyone in the audience right now looks under their seats, we actually have an envelope prepared. Like, we've already stamped it. We already have everything to go. You just have to put down your name, social, credit card. The guys, just some basic information.
Credit card number, 3 funny digits on the back, zip code, and you're signed up.
And
You're
but
ready.
again, it's pre-stamped. Just take it to the post office, and you're all set. And you could join the company today.
Yeah, and
You
I'm-
will need to also send in a check for $500. Just membership fees,
Exactly.
Just basic,
And if I'm not mistaken,
run-of-the-mill.
you do have to scan a copy of your birth certificate.
It's appreciated. We also accept Social Security and passports.
Of course. Vaccination cards.
Never.
We don't
Here
care.
at the company, we're very anti-vax.
Why?
No reason.
Your body, your choice.
Of course.
Of course.
This is so good to hear. I am more than grateful that you brought this opportunity to me, my fans, everyone out in the audience today. I'm so happy that each and every one of you got your welcome packet under your chairs. Once again, please look under your chairs. Please use them. This is not a pyramid scheme. Who said pyramid scheme?
Huh?
Huh?
BIM? Why would you even
Multi-level
suggest
marketing.
that? BIM.
BIM?
God. Anyway, I hate to drive the conversation away from the company, but I really do want to talk more about the Cowards Unwelcome universe. This all started with Cowards Unwelcome Championship Knockout. Is this correct?
That is absolutely correct. Back in March of 2021 was the inaugural Cowards Unwelcome event, and it was Cuck. It was Cuck live from your mom's house, and we saw some amazing matches that night where we ended up crowning the first ever Cuck, and that of Bert the Bear. And our very own Grayson, who is here tonight on Show with the Capital W, he was Bert's competitor.
Indeed,
lost
I was.
in brutal fashion.
Okay, well, lost. That's kind of strong. I didn't win.
And even other guests here on Show with the Capital W, Hans, also a loser against Bert the Bear.
That is true.
How painful was that, Hans?
Well, I'm here now.
He
I
lived
guess.
to tell the tale.
That's absolutely right. And Cuck was the first event, and this was back earlier last year. Then we had Midsummer Madness, of course, during the summer.
Come.
Now, that's exactly right.
Thank you so much.
And now we are looking forward to the third annual event in the Cowards Unwelcome trilogy, and that of Cowards Open Championship Knockout.
Cock.
Yes, again, later this month, where again the New Toys tournament will be taking place. And in addition to that, we have a ton of other matches as well. Because I think that point got lost earlier, but we're going to have a championship match with our first ever Cuck, Bert the Bear. For the first ever time, he will be defending his Cuck title in a match between either Chargle or Gray the Gray, just depending on which way things fall.
Wow, this
I
is
know.
fantastic news. Thank you for giving us the inside scoop. Now, I really do want to get into the history of Cowards Unwelcome
And
universe.
before we do that, there are a few other matches.
Oh my
at
God!
Cowards Open Championship Knockout that I think we should focus on as well. Because I think, of course, the conception of Cowards Unwelcome is really important. But
Championship matches, everyone loves to hear about them.
Of course,
Yeah.
and you know what?
I
My
love it when they're
audience really
spoiled.
loves them. Sorry, Bim, what'd you say?
What was that?
Sorry, Bim, what'd you say?
When
Sorry, Bim, what'd you say? Cool. So, I would really love to hear about.
you'd like to hear more of the matches?
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you watched Come back in the summer, you would have seen the crowning of the first ever tag team champions, and that of the Come Maniacs, Low Punny, and Con Maniac. And they are, of course, going to be defending their titles for the first time ever against Pizza Time. Grayson, let everyone know about Pizza Time.
They really like pizza,
That's true.
and they're always on time.
This is such good news. Now, I remember Bim and I, we had our first match in the Cowards Unwelcome Midsummer Madness. Midsummer, hardly know her.
Wait.
And before, we actually did a pre-cum date. And I would recommend this to any team that is entering the Midsummer Madness tag team situation. It really helped us bond, really get in that connectedness.
Didn't help
And
you win though.
we were close though.
We won in spirit.
Yeah.
Beat us.
In everyone's hearts.
Exactly.
Beat you.
Oh.
No,
Both of y'all.
No.
we beat the Boi podcast, and that's all we really care about. So,
Mhm.
I think it's important to note that Gray the Gray was pinned by Chargle.
yes, he
This
was.
is silly.
After I danced a lot.
So much
A
dancing.
lot. And if I'm not mistaken, Bim and I actually had the most costume changes.
Well, that's something
Also,
we-
the most lethal weapons that you brought into the ring.
They were just there. We
Their
didn't bring them in. We
utensils,
found them.
Tools.
It's weird you say that. I saw you pull one from underneath your Luigi hat.
Let's
it was
not get
there.
into
I
the
just found
logistics of it. Can we get back into the matches, or is that all we get?
There are so many more. We got matches like a huge 6-person tag team match
Oh my
between I
goodness.
know with the Shiny Hunters, the team of Sabian, Sheep, Honk, and Chloe against the team of Drew, Who's the other one?
Doc.
No, I know him. What's the other?
Adam?
Oh, Adam. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, Doc overscore. And so, yeah, we have a huge card planned.
Yes. Well, I really hate to do this,
Yeah.
but I do really need to bring up a stain on the Cowards Unwelcome universe,
Yeah.
and that is the man formerly known as the Great Muda, and now known as Atum.
Who? No.
What?
Would we like to speak on this?
Muda's dead.
Really?
I
Are
don't
we
know what
sure?
you're referencing here.
But I think we should speak on that.
Yeah, why are you correlating Muda and Atum together?
Like, well, what is the implication here? Is I guess what I'm asking.
The implication is #AvengeBim.
Exactly.
But Bim was avenged. Muda's dead.
The
He's
Great
never
Muda
coming back.
Was banned from ever participating in Cowards Unwelcome competition again, and we've addressed this in the past on other platforms aside from show with a capital W. So, and we don't want to just bring up all that kind of dirt from the
course.
past. It doesn't feel necessary at this point. So
We want
if
to focus on the exciting elements of what's to come, not the history.
Come.
Not the history that really is a stain on the Cowards and Welcome brand.
Well,
Come stain.
if I'm not mistaken, I thought Target banned the Great Muda. Target no longer runs.
We are no longer affiliated with Target. This is true. We do have a new sponsor in that of Six Flags Fiesta Texas. We
are in talks with the company as well.
Yeah, and we figure that Six Flags Fiesta Texas, they saw what happened with the Great Muda. I mean, again, as much as we don't necessarily want to keep bringing it up and addressing it, everyone knows what happened, and so it
made national television.
of course it did, and as it should have, because it was a disgusting act, right? But no, they know not to cross that boundary.
Of course.
Because I don't know why you keep bringing up Atum.
No, I just really love stories of people righting their wrongs and changing their ways, and I really love that the Cowards Unwelcome experience has, really taken accountability for what happened that night. And
you will never see something like that ever happen again in a
Thank you.
Cowards Unwelcome ring. You have our word here.
Thank you.
What about a Cowards Open ring?
We have a lot less control over what happens there.
Okay.
And also, to
It
be
is
clear,
open.
too, Atum's match, and I don't know why we're equating Atum with Muda. That just doesn't make sense. His match with Bimley is going to be unsanctioned. So anything that happens is not like Six Flags and us at Cowards Unwelcome. We're not liable. Like, that's just...
It's one of those quirks in the contract, the lawyers over at Cowards and Welcome.
Put these
that's
little
so-
lines in the
Yeah.
contract.
So silly.
Because Atum was like, when we saw that we could get Atum on the card, we were really, really excited.
Atum's a
And
big name.
One of his demands was, unsanctioned.
Wow.
So we gave him what he wanted,
Wow. You have a lot of trust in your unwelcome cowards.
We have to.
You have to. Now, I hate to dig up
They're not
history again, but
cowards.
this should be... I'm so sorry to even imply that. I hate to dig up history again, but this is hopefully a positive history. I would love to hear about why Cowards of Welcome came into fruition.
So that's a really
The
great
cut
question,
came.
W. And I think really what Cowards Unwelcome is about, what it was built upon, is the idea that there are a lot of outlets for professional fighting, professional sports today, right? So many outlets for it. You got the UFC, you've got MMA, you've got boxing, pro wrestling, all these different outlets. But the problem with all those things is you watch them, you put them on television, you buy the pay-per-views, and so many of them are just cowards, you see them in the ring, they're not giving it their all. They're not there for the joy of the kill, of the blood. They're not out for murder. And when we were putting together the roster for Cowards Unwelcome,
We wanted to see some murder, is what we're saying.
we did. And so we sought out the most uncowardly individuals that this planet had to offer. And so that's really what we're here to do is put those stars on display.
So what was the criteria for choosing your competitors? Because all of the audience members in my lovely fan club, what if some of them would want to join? Is there an audition, open call? Do they submit headshot resume? How does this work?
Well, that's a great question, but you don't necessarily apply to join Cowards
Right.
Unwelcome. Cowards Unwelcome finds you.
Much
you
like the
know?
company?
Yeah, precisely. So, just go out there, make a name for yourself, prove you're not
Absolutely.
a coward, and we'll find you. You know.
Wow.
If you are concerned about your prospects in Cowards Unwelcome, because it is hard to prove that you are not a coward, that is the purpose of the Cowards Open, you know? We accept some cowards to take this chance, take this moment to prove that they're worthy of Cowards Unwelcome.
And that's what I really love about the Cowards Unwelcome experience, is that you really open it up to all people, all individuals, cowards or not, to really prove
Not
themselves.
just people.
Yes,
We got
of course. I'm so
bears,
sorry. I'm so
we
sorry.
got Yoshis.
Yes.
Penguins.
bunnies.
Yes. And I think my favorite part, and most people's favorite part, is the post-fight interviews to really get into the competitor's head.
Will we
what-
actually get those?
Yeah, will we get those this time?
No, we're cutting it all.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I pranked you.
Oh my goodness, I feel pranked. Oh my, look at all the cameras.
Y'all
They're
just
coming- the
joshing. That's
pranksters.
so
Hear that
silly of
collective
you
gasp
guys.
from the audience. You got them.
I really
you joshed
did.
them.
Really
Oh my
did.
gosh.
Wow.
No, but there will be post-fight interviews. Given that we remember. So yeah, no. Look forward to those. Look forward to the matches, and look forward to seeing the first ever Cowards Unwelcome new toy crowned. Guys, we didn't even mention this, but the special referee for the new toys tournament is none other than Joe Biden.
Joe Byron?
Yeah, Joe
The-
Byron. You know
Oh
it.
my goodness.
The original Cowards Unwelcome new toy.
He really is.
He really is. So look forward to that.
The
Look
OG
forward-
new toy.
The OG new toy, of course.
And again, there's a chance that Bert the Bear, our first ever cuck, could be dethroned. So
Wow.
it can't miss.
It's a can't miss event. I implore every single one of my audience members, every single person on this earth, universe, galaxy, whatever, to really just take in this entire Cowards Are Welcome experience. Really, I kind of want to switch gears now.
Yeah.
And I want to move away from Cowards Are Welcome, this universe that you've so artistically created.
Of course.
And I really want to move into your other artistic ventures. Is that allowed?
What are we talking here?
Yeah, because like some of those are a little.
Well, I would just like to really applaud you on your new podcast with the BM&W podcast, A Boy, Oh Boy, and BM&W podcast collaboration entitled Tea Time Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to explain how that came along?
How that guys?
Sorry, guys. How that came along, and then also what it is.
Yeah, no,
It
absolutely.
was actually all my idea. I came up
Really?
with every aspect of it and every
Really?
element of it, including the name, the genre, the content, exactly how it was going to be formatted. JC does the editing, which is very kind of him.
It's too kind.
And then we attach BM&W on the side, just helping those smaller
And just
podcasters.
for a little bit of context, for a little bit of background here, we at the Boy Oh Boy podcast, one half of Tea Time Tuesdays, we had the wonderful idea back sort of at the end of this summer, back in like August of this year, that we would, for our listening audience, it's huge, it's vast, but consists mainly of our closest friends, we decided that we were going to lie directly to them and say that the podcast was ending. And make it as convincing as possible for no reason.
Yeah, and I heard through the grapevine.
You know those grapes.
I heard through the grapevine that a lot of people actually shed a few tears during the last episode. JC, I listened to that the episode 200 personally, and I have to say you put on a very convincing performance.
Very
Very,
convincing.
very convincing, and I have to admit I shed a few tears myself.
Yeah, it was just a good prank,
Very, very good prank.
Good
Just
prank.
joshing.
Very good prank. Do you regret at all your actions, seeing as you might have lost a few viewers in the process?
No.
No.
So, I'm not going to name any names here. Actually, no, I am. Do you care that Bim stopped listening to the podcast?
Okay. So
We're
guys,
shocked. We're appalled.
I would care a little bit more about it if this were the same BIM that we were dealing with a few months ago, okay? But we all know that College Park changed this girl, okay?
Yes, and I heard that Annapolis changed her even more.
That's
It's
the rumor
true.
going around. She's not
I
even
heard
here
it
to
through the
defend herself.
grapevine.
Like, she's sitting right here. She's not defending herself.
The sorrow we feel of Bim not listening to the podcast isn't just the sorrow of her not listening to the podcast. It's the sorrow of losing Bim. Bim's gone.
Not only as a listener, but as a friend, as a family member,
I'd say so.
is devastating.
Who's Bim even anymore?
What's a Bim?
What's up, Bim?
I thought it was pronounced bin.
I heard bum.
This could work.
I heard not turtle.
Not turtle. Yeah, that one is catching fire quite recently. Yes, but going back to Tea Time Tuesday, I would really love to hear what that is all about, and what is your interpretation of the art, because it is art, the art you create every, I'd say, like 2 months or so.
Yeah, so we, like, Bim included in this, myself, Grayson, and Bim, we have a very special friend. And this special friend of ours really likes to improv. And she would like to have this opportunity, like a lot of weeks to get on there, have a good old time with her friends, and then put her comedic genius on display. And I feel the three of us go along with that because we're like, oh, we want to support our friend in this adventure, or this venture rather, allow her to pursue her creative pursuits. And I feel like that's a lot of it.
Really?
Yes.
Really? So there's no interest in it at all on your parts?
I mean, but prior to Tea Time Tuesday, I'd never had the itch to engage in improv. I hadn't, but I will say it sparked something in me.
Really?
It's yes, absolutely. Where I think I might be doing some local improv actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now, Hans,
Oh.
are you currently
I
a
just-
listener of Tea Time
I was
Tuesday?
hoping I could promote that. But
We'll come back.
But like,
What?
because I'm doing a show down the street after this, like,
We'll come back. We'll circle back.
come.
Oh, I absolutely am an avid listener of Tea Time Tuesday.
Really?
I even run the local fan club for Tea Time Tuesday,
Oh
where
my goodness, I didn't know this.
we analyze each episode. We log all of the characters and all that.
I heard you also run the Wikia.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do. We're on the Tea Time Tuesday Wikia on Fandom Wikia, and
That is wonderful. Steven?
What's up?
Cool. So JC,
Chargle.
now is the time to circle back, to come back, if you will. And this improv show that you are performing in later tonight.
Hmm?
Any hints?
What do you mean by hints?
Tell
No.
a joke.
Tell
Much
me a
like
joke
a
right now.
clue.
What's joke? Okay. Guys, I'm not gonna do that. I can't give away the magic.
Okay.
Guys, you go down the street. It's literally right across the street after the show. When show with a capital W ends tonight, go across. It's only like what, $50-$60 for admission. You get in there and you'll see my improv.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's all.
Yeah, coming back to Tea Time Tuesday, though, I just want to say I've met the friend that you're talking about.
Our special friend.
Your special friend. And we've talked about Tea Time Tuesday in length. And let me just say, it is her proudest achievement. You know,
Oh, wow.
every time she gets to come on to Tea Time Tuesday, it's a blast. It is some of the best times ever. And she just laughs her butt off every single time. And it's just so fun having just a little bit of friend time, you know, every 2 months.
I
Yeah.
never realized that our special friend had so little going on.
No, I feel like this special friend has a lot going on. So much going on all the time, but she still like really, really wants to make time for Tea Time Tuesday, and sometimes it's a little disrespectful that no one else makes time for Tea Time Tuesday, but we're not going to get into that right now.
And I feel disrespected almost by the use of the term "no one" there.
Oh, no.
It's like,
No.
Yeah. I feel like there's
No. I think there's effort on 2 parts.
3 parts.
3 parts.
Oh.
Bim? Do you agree?
I agree.
In what way?
Well, you know, there's just like, yeah.
Steven?
What's up?
Cool. So, yeah, just to reiterate, Tea Time Tuesday is a blast for this very special friend, and it's one of the only things keeping her going.
Oh wow.
Keeping her, it's the little engine that could,
Of
and the only
course.
thing that's making that engine can is Tea Time Tuesday.
Of course.
It's just so fun, so fun. Can everyone name their most favorite episode?
I'm a big fan of the most recent episode of Teen Up Tuesday entitled Secret Santa.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that episode let a lot of artistic genius shine that wasn't on display prior to episode 4.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Grayson,
I know none of the titles.
what was your favorite?
I liked the first one a lot. That was
Really?
really good.
That
The
one
recent
was a
one
really,
also
really
very
good. One.
good.
Yeah.
Second one, not very good.
The second one, I think, was their worst.
The whole test.
The whole test. And it takes a while for podcasts to really find their place.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is
Especially long time if they take 2-month breaks between each episode.
Exactly. And once again, if the one team member could just really lift up their part, things would be a lot better. But again, it really takes a long time for podcasts to find their place. And I do have faith for this podcast. I really do. Not from like a success standpoint, but from a fun standpoint. Because every time the Special Friends sits down to record an episode of Tea Time Tuesday, it's so fun. It's so fun. Hans, do you have a favorite episode?
I do have a favorite episode. It's Classic Syphilis.
Oh my goodness, I gotta admit,
Such
that
a
one's
great
my
episode.
favorite one too. Steven?
I actually have a really fun episode.
Yeah, okay. So, going back to the first very episode, I think we started off with a bang, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
Oh, you think we peaked at this fine town?
No, I think that we think we peaked. Was it ever a good episode? Absolutely not.
Oh, wow.
That's a really condemning statement because it absolutely was the peak.
Mm-hmm.
Also garbage.
Yeah. It's
So
so garbage.
Just because it's a peak does not mean it has to be a high peak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how there's this mountain called Sugarloaf Mountain, and it's just a hill?
Yeah.
Know nothing about that.
Exactly. So, guys, once again, to reiterate, Tea Time Tuesday is one of your special friends' favoriteest creations. It's just creativeness at its peak. The peak being a very low peak.
Of course.
And it's just so fun. Bim, do you like Tea Time Tuesday?
I love Tea Time Tuesdays.
Really? Because it doesn't seem like you do.
I love Tea Time Tuesdays.
I've sensed a severe lack of Bim in every episode.
I would say that's true up until Secret Santa.
Yes. In Secret Santa, we really got to see those wings spread. Spread them and wet them, if you will.
Yeah.
Would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, it took me a while to warm up to Tea Time Tuesdays, and now I finally spread my wings.
That is so
You're
fantastic.
soaring right now.
I
Liz.
sure am.
Soaring.
Such
Yeah.
big wings.
That is so fantastic.
They should switch the M to a W for big wings.
They should.
Wow. That is absolutely fantastic. Well, I think I'm getting the voice in my ear. I think it is time for our first ever commercial break of this episode. So everyone in the audience, please stay tuned. Everyone at home, please stay tuned when we come back with another segment of Show with a Capital W. Okay, I have to pee so bad.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure M&M. Take a look, and you'll see into your M&M world. With our recently appointed CEO, Millie Monka, there's been some changes at M&M World. Bring your friends in M&M World and experience something that is bound to color your mind. Are you one of the lucky few to head backstage? There you can see each stage of how the M&M gets crafted by hand to how it gets packaged. This is the experience of a lifetime, and you don't want to miss out. Please bring your friends. Your friends will add to the experience, and when you're done, make sure you bring more friends. Maybe even get a school field trip. Millie Monka will be very, very happy. Wink face emoticon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Show with a Capital W, my favorite, your favorite, and everyone's favorite late-night TV show. Woo! We are joined back with JC Cola.
That's my name.
Yes. As you can see, everyone else has left the room.
That's right.
And we want to kind of have a more personal, more intimate conversation with you. Is this okay?
I'd say so.
I absolutely love it. Now, we talked a lot in the first segment about your business ventures.
Oh, a lot.
A lot. And one thing that we didn't really hit on is the Boi podcast.
Yeah.
So would you like to speak on the conception of that podcast and where it kind of started and where it's going now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like we've spoken on this a few times in the past, you know, so I don't know how much detail I need to get into at this point. But yeah, no, the Boi podcast is a podcast between myself and Grayson, who you heard just a little bit ago here on Show with a Capital W. You know, two friends in high school. We had art class together. We decided, hey, let's start a podcast, and we've been doing it ever since. hugely successful, massive audience. I think mainstream appeal.
Exactly. No, I've
And-
seen the billboards.
Yeah.
And I really just want to congratulate you on all your business ventures and
Thank you.
how all those have been going.
Thank you very much.
So was Grayson your first choice in a partner for this podcast?
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
Would you be comfortable to name who your other options would have been?
The list is long.
Okay.
And I wouldn't know it all off the top of my head, but Grayson was the first to say yes.
Okay. And do you at all feel disappointed? Do you think that the show is hindered because Grayson was the first one to say yes?
You know, I wouldn't know if I'd say hinder, because again, we are massively successful
Exactly.
at this point, and I don't know if we could have got to this level
Yeah, and-
without him.
And who's to say that Grayson isn't part of the success, you know?
Yeah, and I think he does make up a good proportion of why we are successful. Like he's behind that to an extent.
He contributes.
To an extent.
Yes, I think one of my favorite Grayson moments is that one time when after he got snowed in his apartment in Texas,
Yeah.
where he talked for the entire episode and then never talks at all in the other podcasts. I think that really just shows who he is as a person and just how much he contributes when he wants to, when it's convenient for him.
Yeah, like can be a very charismatic guy, great speaker, all that kind of stuff when he wants to be. But you know, like most weeks, I feel like honestly, what it is he trusts me and my natural charisma to carry those episodes a lot of the time.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Exactly,
Who wouldn't?
exactly. So yeah, so like I can respect that, you know, because honestly, I don't want to say this, and I hope he doesn't hear this, but like, I'm the star of Boy Oh Boy.
Really?
I mean, who are we kidding?
Really?
Right?
I'm not going to confirm nor deny, but please elaborate. I would love to
Well,
hear
just,
your thoughts on this.
You know, in addition to being one of the hosts of the Boy Oh Boy podcast, I am also the audio editor of the podcast.
Okay.
And I do see the waveforms when I go to edit the podcast every week. And I find that my audio makes up, just so much more than Grayson's when we look at the length of the podcast.
Yes. We have come to learn that you struggle with social anxiety.
Yes, well, this is true, especially back in high school. Like around the time that Boy Oh Boy was started, it was something I absolutely still struggled with.
Do you think that this podcast has been a way for you to kind of overcome that?
Wait, you know, I'd say to an extent, in the sense that I initially approached Grayson and the long list of people before him to start up this podcast with the idea of me gaining more experience in the world of broadcasting, because of course I was going to become this massively successful broadcaster.
And now you are.
Communicator, and here I am today. And so obviously things worked out. But I'd say that it's helped me become, yes, better at communicate. Wait, guys.
Guys, I don't know if you caught that.
I've
You can say it.
I've become a better communicator, I think, as a result of being part of this pod. That's pretty rude.
Sneeze one more time, why don't you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
That was
Please
very-
proceed. I'm so sorry for
I
my
lost my
disrespectful
train of
co-host.
thought. Do you remember where I
Bim,
was?
you stopped the train.
I'm sorry.
Apologize harder.
I'm sorry.
Like you mean it.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. JC,
Yeah.
if you can find where you stopped, please pick right back up.
Social anxiety. So, yeah, no, I would say definitely to an extent, and the fact that I became a more confident speaker.
Do you think that Grayson helped you in that journey of self-discovery and, you know, journey in overcoming, guys, your social anxiety? Maybe not fully, but, you know, becoming more comfortable around other
Yeah,
people.
no, I would absolutely think that's fair to say.
Do you think at all that his approach to this, you know, trying to help was at all hostile at times?
Like a bit aggressive. You know, I would say that that's probably true, but I'd also say there's some merit to that. There's some validity to that, and that's what I needed at the time. You know, I needed that push. I needed someone to be aggressive, assertive, to get me in those situations that would help me deal with those fears, those anxieties. You know.
I love to hear it. I love to hear two friends starting a podcast, really near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Now, once again, it's no secret that you do a lot of the talking, editing, coming up with bits on the podcast.
Wait.
Guys, did everyone hear that?
I heard it.
Okay, good. So, how would you say, like, percentage-wise, is the work split for a Boy Oh Boy podcast?
I'd say about 95-5.
Okay, and are the proceeds split the same way?
No.
No. Okay.
So the funny thing is, while we are massively successful, we do, unfortunately, and we're only like 3-4 years into the podcast at this point, we are still in the red as far as profit goes. So
Wish we could say the same.
Yes.
the cost gets split evenly. I'd say, yeah.
Okay. But hypothetically, if you were to hopefully one day get into the green or maybe even yellow, do you think that the profits would be split evenly?
That's, I hate to speculate. Grayson is a finance major. I'd probably leave that up to him to figure out.
Are you sure you trust him with that?
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, I just know how little he contributes to the podcast. And I also know the type of person Grayson is. I mean, I just spoke with him for a while earlier today.
No, I was there.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. So, I just know what type of person he is and how he might take advantage of this situation. Do you have any of these fears?
Fears that he would take advantage of me, you're saying?
Yes.
Not necessarily, but he is quite. I've seen him take advantage of others in the past. I won't lie, but I feel like we have a relationship that goes beyond that.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though with the bumps in the road that you guys have experienced?
Can you speak more on that? I don't think I understand the question.
I and everyone else in the audience, we've all heard about the infamous game of Risk that almost ended your
yes.
friendship. Would you
Of
like to
course.
speak on this?
I'll speak on the game of Risk. Well, as you mentioned, it's infamous at this point. Everyone knows about it, but if I must, yes, there was a game of Risk back in the summer of 2019 that resulted in much crying from me, myself, and the deterioration. Well, I don't know. That wasn't necessarily where the friendship broke. I'd say that marked the healing process of an already scarred and damaged friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in the wise words of Taylor Swift, it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart. Do you have any connection to this quote? Seeing as even though you can talk it through and you can mend those scars as best as possible, there's still a scar there, and you can still remember the pain that scar caused. So, do you still have any sort of resentment towards Grayson because of this game of Risk?
No.
That didn't sound very convincing.
No. Why would there be resentment?
I don't know. It's just the situation of that night. Again, it's infamous.
Infamous.
Highlighted in history books.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've tried to put myself in your shoes on that fateful night.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it every single day. And I just try to imagine what I would have done in that situation. And I am champion at holding grudges. #1 grudge holder over here. So that may affect my perception of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Can I be honest here? Can I step in here?
of course.
And maybe I'm misreading the room
Of
here on
course.
show with a capital W, and I've been a fan for so long,
Of
and
course.
this is an honor for me to be on here.
And we love you.
It feels a little bit like we're diving into some maybe unnecessary areas, some unnecessary tangents. Where it feels like you're almost trying to pit me and my co-host against.
What?
I just-
Absolutely
no.
not.
Okay,
No.
okay. I just wanted to.
Well, here on Show
okay.
with Capital W, we really like to get personal
Yeah,
and get into it.
yeah.
Get very personal, intimate,
Well,
you know.
the tagline, the rawest show in late night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Raw with a capital W.
Of course.
And I really also love healing friendships, love helping people. And I'm an empath, so I can sense when people are hurting, and I can really feel, just a little bit of tension between you two. And
Yeah.
of course, Grayson has tension with everyone. Grayson's just a mean old angry person.
Of course. Can I just? And I hate to interrupt you.
Of course.
But
Please go ahead.
I might sense some tension of my own. Why did your co-host just turn her back to me? It feels a little rude. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm sure it was 100% intentional.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Bim's going through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I understand.
Exactly.
Okay. And what she contribute anyways, like.
Exactly. Exactly. So when you started the podcast, you said your goal was to just get a better understanding of broadcasting. Is this true?
Yeah, no, this is what I said moments ago.
Well, we once again, as we said before, every podcast takes a while to find its place in the world. Find what its shtick is, if you will. BM&W found theirs, I would think, 42 episodes in. Is that what it
Yeah.
is? They found theirs pretty quickly. How long would you say it took you guys to find your groove, find your shtick?
Our groove, our shtick. I guess it depends on what you would define our shtick as being, right?
Well, everyone can define their own shtick. That's
Exactly.
the best thing
So
of a shtick.
I don't know if I necessarily want to say, hey, this is the point where our shtick kicked in, but I like to leave it up for audience interpretation, Whatever shtick you prefer to interpret our podcast as having,
I think, when do you think your podcast became funny?
Oh, God. We're getting there,
You're still on the rise.
Yeah, no, it's a long, treacherous path, but we are trying our best.
Wow.
And okay, you talked earlier about how sometimes I fear that Grayson, being one of the co-hosts, being the first to accept the offer, maybe holds the podcast back in some ways. I do fear that maybe sometimes he doesn't quite bring the funny like I'd want him to.
Exactly. I've witnessed multiple times when he refuses to tell his weekly joke.
Precisely.
And I know that is some of the fans' favorite parts.
And this is just part of what confuses me. And I don't want to get too. This is a show where we get raw, where we get personal.
Raw with a capital W.
Of course. He is a business major, finance major.
Business
with a Z and a U, and a B and an I. And
Maybe an S in there too.
Yeah. All those letters, they're in there. But so okay, guys, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Chugga chugga choo choo.
No, I legitimately lost my train of thought, guys.
Oh, you were talking about how Grayson doesn't bring the funny.
Oh yes, and he does not.
Do you think it's a one-man show?
So
in
yeah, well,
terms of
that's
funny
what I was saying.
department?
So as far as him being a business major, he knows a lot about contracts, a lot about the finances, all the sort of technical end of things. Again, on that business side that I can't be bothered with. But I know it's in his contract, that weekly joke. And I know it's in his contract that he brings the funny.
Mm-hmm.
And so just sometimes I worry, hey, maybe there's something not right here, But I've never really vocalized it like this before. But yeah.
Have you ever thought of bringing these complaints up with Grayson?
That he's not funny.
No, that sometimes he could make more effort to bring the funny.
Because he's capable, right?
He is so capable.
Like we said earlier, it's that natural charisma that he just has about, and that when he chooses to put it on display, oh my goodness, does he display it?
Exactly.
It's just that choice, putting that foot forward. That's the tough part.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was the question again, Chargle?
Have you ever thought about bringing the funny? Mentioning Yeah, well,
compensating for his
lack of funny. Yes.
Well, I feel like I try my best, but it's a two-man show at the end of the day. What can I really do?
Yeah, it's called Boy Oh Boy.
Two boys.
It's two boys.
It is.
Yes, it is. Now, it is no secret that you are a Leo.
I was actually trying to keep that under wraps, but if there's any place to reveal that, yes, show with the capital W is where I'd want that information
Ross
to be
show
made
on
public.
television.
You're right. And it's about time that I come forward with that information. I am a Leo.
Grayson is also a Leo.
Did he give you the okay to?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. He is also a Leo, guys.
Yes, he is. Do you think that the both of you being Leos has affected your show?
In very positive ways, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Positive?
Yes, positive.
Are you aware?
But it's weird now is when you choose to speak.
Are you aware that both Bim and I disagree?
I don't know in what sense. Okay. Disagree. Yeah, disagree in what sense?
Disagree in the fact that being Leos has had a positive impact.
So you think it has a negative impact on our podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't think that's a fair assessment.
Really?
I think our being Leos gives us a lot of who we are, you know, and that's what's made Boy Oh Boy so successful is the two personalities that are on those microphones every week, you know? It's our natural sort of, again, charisma, courage, bravery, honesty, good looks.
You guys have all those things?
You check all those boxes, both of you?
Well, we're both Leos, so of course.
Of course.
He-
Bim, how could we have been so blind?
So silly.
So I
So very silly of us.
when you have all those things going for you and so much more that does come along with being a Leo,
Come.
Guys, I said come. So when you have all that goes along with being a Leo, and again, then some, it's a lot. So yeah, no, I do believe that the day of the year of which we were born has contributed a lot to where we are today.
Really, that very, very, very unique mindset. Not one shared by Bim and I, would you say? She's shaking her head.
Which is good for
Which is
an
good-
audio medium.
Which is good for very, very fantastic for an audio medium. It's almost as if her mic doesn't exist.
I'm doing it for the audience.
For the audience. Yep. So you mentioned before Leos. Can you please reiterate the characteristics of a Leo?
Yeah, they're brave, they're honest, they're handsome, they're good looking, they're very tall.
Exactly.
All of us.
Uh-huh. So, do you think this bravery, this honesty, this good-lookingness has allowed Grayson to finally get a girlfriend, finally find love?
You know, and I don't know how comfortable I feel talking about my co-host
Did
love
you know
life.
the word comfortable starts with come?
Wait.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it earlier, but we were talking a lot about cum and all that kind of stuff. Did you know that coward's unwelcome? Every time you said it.
Cowards welcome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was tough to hold in, but I'm glad we could address it now.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't have to
Wait.
anymore. Welcome.
Wait.
Guys, it's a vicious circle.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Never ends.
But you didn't answer my question. Do you think that these attributes of a Leo have helped Grayson in his quest for love?
You know, I don't know, because I don't know how much of Grayson's love life I am really permitted to talk about here. I don't know how much of that is my business, per se. But I would say that if Grayson were to be on that romantic pursuit, I'd say those traits of a Leo would serve him well.
If he's on the romantic pursuit?
Yeah, no, I remember him telling me back in senior year of high school after, again, I don't know how much of
We don't have to get into
history we have to rehash, but a certain traumatic event occurred where he was like, unless there is some act of God that convinces me otherwise, never again will I ever date a girl.
Wow.
Yes.
He said this?
Many times.
Like, no bullshit, no beef, no canon, like, for real?
You can listen back to it.
Oh my god! I can't believe I haven't heard this before. Well, that is so interesting to hear because I have gotten the 411, the scoop from Grayson himself, and I can't believe I'm going to be the one to tell you this, but have you heard who Grayson's new girlfriend is?
Girlfriend? What do you mean? He would have told me if he had a girlfriend.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You haven't heard?
What do you,
The grapevine isn't, like, alerted you yet?
Grayson hasn't, like, told you?
I feel like you guys are implying that he has a girlfriend, but we
Well,
all know
maybe
that's
not a
not true.
girlfriend. More a significant other.
Oh?
We all know how big of a fan Grayson is of the reality TV show Big Brother.
Yeah.
You not so much of a fan.
I'm more of a casual viewer, I'll be honest.
I've heard you never seen a single episode.
That might be true.
Okay. But you are aware of the name Dr. Will Kirby.
I'm very aware of that name.
Some might say you've had a crush on him at one point.
I'd say at this point.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to be the one revealing this to you.
Yeah.
but Grayson and Dr. Will Kirby, it was confirmed today by Hollywood Wire.
Oh, so it's like official.
It's official. Hollywood Wire is the most reliable of sources, aside from
On
Wikipedia.
Snapchat?
Yeah, Hollywood Wire on Snapchat.
That's all. Like I love the two of them. So like that's honestly that's great news to hear.
It
It's
doesn't. Okay. No, I'll let you finish.
It's just this isn't the platform or the space I necessarily expected to receive that information.
No, and I'm really sorry that we
And
were
it's
the
like
ones
we
who
have
had-
been doing the podcast for almost 4 years at this point, and I have been along that ride with him for so many of those ups and downs. It's just I thought he would have had the decency to tell me that, like, to my face.
You know, and we did too, and we wouldn't have brought it up if we didn't think you already know.
No, of course. It was on Snapchat. You know,
It was
like,
on Snapchat.
Of course, I
The
should have
Daily
known.
Wire.
No, that's
Hollywood
Hollywood
Wire.
My fault.
Jesus, Bim.
Why is she here?
I don't know. We may kick her out for the Grayson segment. I still haven't decided yet.
Wow. So, no, I'm hurt. I do, but I'm sure we can talk it out. Like I'm sure this can be resolved.
Like the risk game.
Like the risk game, you know. I'm a person who doesn't stray from confrontation. You know?
Really, I've heard this about you.
Yeah, many people have.
Mm-hmm.
Many people have.
That
So,
some would say it's your shtick.
my shtick, yeah, I'm very confrontational and aggressive is my thing. So I'll be talking to Grayson,
Okay.
you know, because I'm sure it was just probably a misunderstanding.
I really hope it is. For the sake of your friendship, for the sake of your professional careers with each other, I really hope it is a misunderstanding. I really hope that there's some sort of reason why.
Probably has a very good reason for why he told the entire public before he told me.
Yeah, I guess he might have assumed that you knew.
I mean, you're a part of the public, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I like to think our relationship goes a little bit beyond that, but no, you're right. That's what I'm learning here. Is exactly right. I don't know how deep that relationship goes. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You know what? You're so very welcome.
Wait,
Welcome? Wow.
that wasn't the right time for something like that.
I'm so sorry. It's okay. I forgive you. Well, I am getting the tiny little voice in my earpiece saying
Oh,
we are almost out of time.
why you end on such a downer?
I do too, but is there anything else you'd like to say before we leave?
No, I gotta find Grayson.
It might be a while before you get to talk to him because
Why?
the Grayson segment is after this.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
could we just like have a moment like during commercial maybe like?
It's up to the producers. That's the higher ups' decision. I'm just the girl with the mic.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll go ask the producers, I guess, when I'll be able to talk to my
Mhm.
friend.
JC,
W.
I'm really sorry.
I am too.
Mhm.
I am too.
Humana, humana, humana. Awooga. Eyes pop out. Tongue rolls out of mouth. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Arf, arf, arf. Now that's a dame. I pant. And when you can't control it anymore, I awooga. Drop to the floor. Give 20 push-ups, and I have given Obama the awooga album sink. Come awooga, Kanye West awooga sink poop a girl and a gamer. Whoa, mama, humana, bazooing. Eyes pop out of awooga. Jaw drops, tongue rolls out. Woof, 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 woof. Tongue bursts out of the oath. Uncontrollably leaking face. Whirl. Tiny Cupid shoots an arrow out through heart. Ah! My lady, heart in the shape of a heart starts beating so hard. And you can see through shut. Baba! Jaw drops on floor, eyes pop out of sockets, accompanied by trumpets. Hearts beat out of chest. A wooga sound effect. Bull's chain on train whistled as appeared next to head as steam blows out. Slam fist on table, rattling any plates, bowls of silverware. Whistles loudly. Fireworks shoot from top of head. Pants loudly. And tongue hangs out of mouth. Wipes comically large. Bead of sweats from forehead. Clears throat. Straightens tie. Combs hair. You listen and look very lovely. Watch Cowards Unwelcome Championship Knockout.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Show with the capital W. We are now here with Grayson.
Howdy.
Howdy to you, too. Woo!
Woo.
Grayson, it is so great to have you here. We just finished talking to your co-host of the wonderful show, Boi Oh Boy podcast.
Yes,
Would
JC.
you love JC, don't you?
I do.
Wow. So, we talked to him about the beautiful conception of this wonderful podcast, one for the ages, massively successful, top of the charts.
Millions of listeners, all composed of our closest friends.
Of course. And that just really shows the personal relationship that you have with each and every one of your viewers.
Yeah, know them all by name.
How would you describe your contribution to the podcast?
I show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no issue with that.
What do you mean?
Like, you're fine with that.
Yeah.
JC's fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now, aside from your podcast with JC,
Yes.
you are also a wildly successful streamer.
Wildly successful, maybe, like underselling it, but, you're not in the streaming world. You might not understand just how big I am.
Exactly. I'm not fully immersed in the streaming world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will admit I haven't attended a streaming quite a bit, but that will all change.
Yeah. Instead of wildly successful, think more like biggest thing since sliced bread. Biggest thing
goodness.
since Betty White.
May she rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I know. Moment of silence? Thank you.
Mhm.
So, would you like to please explain to the listening audience and the viewing audience how you really found your ground, found your footing in the streaming world?
So it turns out that it's not very hard to start streaming. What you do is you download a program, and then you click the start streaming button, and then bam, it just kind of happens.
Yeah, so when did it occur to you that it might be something that you wanted to try?
Well, you see, I was sitting there on my couch on a Thursday afternoon. I love Thursdays. Thursdays are the best day of the week.
Thursdays are your favorite?
Yes, Thursdays are in fact my favorite. And on this wonderful Thursday afternoon, I was sitting there, and JC walked in, and he looked at me, and he said, "Hey, you want to go to the park?" And I said, "No." He said, "Why don't you want to go to the park?" And, obviously I needed a reason to not go to the park. I can't be going to a park,
You can't be caught dead there.
Well, like, part of the issue is with how massively successful Boi Oh Boy is now, we can't just go out in public.
Exactly.
We'll get hounded, mobbed. And so I needed an excuse, and so I said, stream.
Mm.
And then bam, stream born.
So you would say you started your stream as an elaborate lie to get out of going to the park with JC.
Well, then I did go stream, so there was no lie.
Well, it's like that one episode of Community where Jeff Winger signs up for a fake class, and then there's this whole like night school community college thing where like this guy once created a fake class, but then that fake class had to be filled with fake students, and those fake students had to have other classes, and those classes needed fake teachers, and then those teachers needed other classes with fake students, and then suddenly he's down in a ditch. Do you think that your streaming has led you down in a ditch of lies and deceit?
Not at all. It's turned out massively successful, and as you mentioned before, Cowards Unwelcome, hosted on Gray the Gray.
This is so fantastic. And once again, can I please just congratulate you on the massive success that is Cowards Unwelcome.
Thank you so very much. Biggest thing since sliced bread.
And Betty White.
And Betty White.
May she rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Moment in silence? Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Now, we all know not only are you involved in the making of Cowards Unwelcome, but you were actually a fighter in Cowards Unwelcome.
I was, yes. I had really high hopes going into the first Cowards Unwelcome. I worked really, really hard. I'd actually gone up against the eventual winner, Bert the Bear, in the past. I had beaten him twice in other arenas. Turns out Cowards and Welcome's a whole other beast. I wasn't prepped quite as well as I thought, and it didn't turn out in my favor.
Yeah, and you prepped very, very hard. You worked very, very hard. You did a whole Rocky montage, I've heard, in preparation.
Little known secret, I did 3.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to fathom.
One involving Mr. T, which was quite cool.
I can't even begin to fathom just how deeply you wanted this.
I really wanted this,
You
yeah.
really, really did. What do you think it would have felt like to be crowned the first ever cuck?
Well, it would have been one thing to just be the first ever cuck, but on top of that, a personal hero of mine is, as many people know, Jeb Bush.
Mm-hmm.
And to be competing alongside such a legendary figure, someone who means so much to me, and then to find that success would have meant the world to me. It would have been everything.
I can imagine.
I'm a little let down that I wasn't able to do that in front of my great hero, but I did make it relatively far into the competition. I can be proud of that, you know?
You did, and I really applaud you.
Thank you.
Really applaud you. The only downside for you not being named the cuck, the only downside of you being named cuck, had you won, is that you and I wouldn't be tied for most Cowards and Welcome wins, and we wouldn't be fighting in this next tournament.
That's true.
This is true.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to our fight?
I am. I wasn't gonna like talk too much about it because like these leaks happen.
Of
like
course, of
sometimes you
course.
slip up, you let a little bit of the game plan go. But you're going down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just figured I'd prep you in advance.
I've been prepped to win.
You know those 3 Rocky montages?
Mm-hmm.
I added a 4th.
God.
There's a Russian involved this time.
Oh
Those
no!
are the best
A
ones.
Russian, a dance number. I went to Siberia for this.
Well,
Did
I
you
just
climb
gotta
the
let
mountain?
you know, I'm not
Sweet.
worried. I'm not worried.
How many
But-
Rocky montages did you do? Huh?
More than I can name.
Oh no.
I'd say quite a few. But I kind of want to go away from our match because that's not
Right, yeah,
really
yeah.
important. So you said before that you really wanted to perform well in front of your hero, Jeb Bush. And you've expressed on the Boi podcast your aspirations to enter the political arena. Do you think being named Cuck would have allowed you to penetrate that even sooner?
Absolutely. A lot of people know that Jeb Bush's political career was started in Cowards and Welcome, along with Joe Biden. He was the original Cowards
Joe
and Welcome.
Byron.
Byron, of course. Cowards and Welcome new toy, if you recall. The very first ever. And that is what started his political campaign. That along with Corn Pop, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Sorry, I just got a text from my mom. Sorry. What?
What's happening?
She said 2 hours late, at least.
Your school starts 2 hours late. They've
Oh.
already announced it.
Oh, that's
I
it?
heard them talking about it upstairs.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh.
Yay.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Yes, and what an honor it would have been to be named Cuck, and had that start of your political career.
Right.
I can only imagine what comes next for you. Even though
Cut, come.
even though you didn't win Cuck, I still have high hopes for you. And it's no secret that you plan to run for president.
Right, yeah. It's been in the works for a good while now. We don't have any official details. We don't want to have any leaks around here.
Of course.
We operate those campaigns like we do Cowards and Welcome. Tight-lipped.
Of course.
Tight-lipped
Of
cock.
course. You wouldn't go on to a late night TV show and just spill all of it in the first 5 minutes.
No, definitely not. Who would ever do something as silly as that?
I can't imagine one person.
Right.
Yes, but I actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I can.
Huh.
Because I remember when I was tuning into the Cowards and Welcome Championship Knockout, the very first ever inaugural Cuck, that like 5 minutes into the stream, it was revealed like the bracket of the entire night.
Well, yeah, no, we do release the bracket at the beginning of the competition, you know, so that everyone can see who the first round matches are.
No, I mean, not the bracket, but like the fully completed bracket with the champion filled in.
The champion?
Yeah.
But no one had won yet.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine that it was predictions
Prediction. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of betting pools around in the Cowards and Welcome World.
so
It
many.
was scarily accurate though.
Very, very accurate. There was only one inconsistency with the actual outcome.
Right.
That being, I don't know if you saw it. You were too busy hosting, of course, and
Hosting and competing.
and competing. I was gonna add, but the thing is, the only inconsistency with what actually played out was it was predicted that you were gonna win.
Oh.
This is news to you?
I mean, yeah, like, well, it's not surprising, I was definitely a favorite in the betting pools,
Mm-hmm.
So to have a prediction think I was going to win, like that makes a lot of sense. Where was this?
So at the beginning of the at the beginning of the night, there was
Like of the night of the broadcast.
yes.
It was on the official broadcast.
Yeah, I don't think you or JC caught it at all. I think it was just an audience member that saw it. That like the full bracket for the entire night was revealed like within the first 5 minutes.
Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't advertise the gambling in the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about that. That's like a side thing. That's for the family.
Yeah, of course, the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, revealing it in the broadcast is kind of a Fornarelli thing to do.
That would be a Fornarelli thing to do, yeah.
Yeah, and you, a well-distinguished member of the family yourself, for the family, it seems that you wouldn't have any intentions of doing this.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It is very weird that we don't have the graphic available for a gambling pool. Again, we have no involvement
Exactly, no. And I can imagine it was purely based on statistics, and JC has admitted to organizing a lot of the event.
in that. Yeah.
So he would be the one that knows all the stats, yes?
Yeah, he keeps track of the stats. He's the primary contact with the targeted executives that ran Cuck. They were the primary sponsor. He was that point of contact. He was the little whisper in the ear, as they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that wasn't the only whisper in the ear that night.
Huh. What are you implying?
So, Bim and I, as you know, we were also competing in the
Yes,
event.
of course.
It was
Fantastic performance from both of you.
Thank you.
So
Thank
sorry
you.
what happened to you, Bim.
Thank you.
it was the time of our lives. Well, for me at least.
Not
Bim,
so
not
much
so
for
much.
Not for me.
I'm
but
again, Great Muda never coming back.
never.
Never. No Great Muda. You okay?
Come. You said come.
You said it. Did you catch that?
Come.
Exactly. So,
Great Muda coming.
yeah, no, like we've established that the bracket purely based on statistics and the most probable outcome had you winning, but somehow Bert the Bear pulled out the win. And obviously, like statistics aren't always accurate. I'm an AP stat myself,
Yeah.
and it is never always clear cut.
Right.
But it seemed pretty certain that you were going to win. You know, you did 3 whole Rocky montages.
3 Rocky montages. I'd beaten Bert twice in the past. You know,
Exactly.
I had really prepped for this.
You really wanted it.
Yeah.
We could tell. But JC, I know that he was under great pressure from Target. As you
Yeah.
said, he was the main correspondent between
Absolutely.
the sponsor.
And I really appreciate all the work he does to make sure it happens. And
Of
all he
course,
does, yeah.
of course. How could you not? It's a
Absolutely.
lot of work that he puts in,
Mhm,
and I really applaud him every day for it. But the thing is, Target, as we have learned with the Great Muda situation, once again, I'm so sorry, Bim.
So
Thank
sorry.
you.
Bim.
Hashtag avenge Bim.
Hashtag avenge Bim.
They're in it for content.
Yeah.
And we saw it again when they brought back a tomb in
What do you mean brought back a tomb?
I mean, when they brought in a tomb during Cowards Welcome
Big name
Midsummer
of tomb.
Madness.
Big name of tomb.
And also, after Cowards Welcome Championship Knockout, there was an extra bonus fight between the Great Muda and Nicolo. Is that correct?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, so the fact that Target would even broadcast that just shows their hunger and their lust for content.
Yeah, admittedly, I was still blackout cold from the Bert the Bear fight,
Exactly.
so I missed most of the end.
Yes.
But I heard it was great.
It was
know?
it was great, very exciting as an audience member, but I guess that was the plan all along, just to make it as exciting as
Absolutely.
possible.
We set it up from the outset and then let it fly, and it soared.
Exactly. Now, there's nothing more exciting. There's nothing more beneficial for content, viewers, money-making opportunities than having the person with the highest stats, the person who's predicted to win it all, lose at the last second.
I mean, I suppose so.
Yes.
It is really fortuitous for Target's sake that it worked out that way, I suppose. Not so much for me, obviously. You know,
Of course,
I
of
would
course.
have loved to win.
JC, though,
Uh-huh.
once again, he was under great pressure from Target to deliver.
Yeah.
And Bim and I saw firsthand how hectic and stressful that night was for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Bim and I saw before the final match JC and Bert the Bear discussing something.
When you say discussing, was he like prepping him as far as like the rules of the fight? Like,
No, because if I remember correctly, I don't know if that was a fair fight.
well, like, you know, it's Cowards Unwelcome.
It's Cowards Unwelcome.
We go in, we know what we're getting ourselves into.
Exactly.
We're not afraid of anything.
You're not a coward.
Absolutely not.
Of course.
Bird is still a bear, though.
Exactly.
We weren't really meant to use claws, or other various techniques. But you know, when it comes down to it, there's no such thing as an unfair fight.
Exactly. Please remember this when you think back to Cowards Welcome Midsummer Madness, when Bim and I just so wittingly used our
Knives,
knives,
bats,
chairs, awesome dancing techniques.
Honestly, I am still so confused as to how you managed to sneak weapons in every fight.
Just hold,
We
if
will
you
never
hold it
reveal our
behind your
secrets.
back,
I don't.
no one can see them.
But like, here's the thing: we in the backstage, we were so hard pressed to change your costume every time to try and get ahead of you on hiding these different weapons, and yet you kept doing it.
Well, what can I
How?
say? It's about drive. It's about power.
We stay hungry.
We devour.
Mhm.
So, yes, coming back to Cowards Welcome Championship Knockout. That day is just ingrained in my memory of the events. It was just such a high energy event, and once again, I know how much pressure there was to deliver the content. There was
Yeah.
screaming fans the whole night.
I
Everyone
mean, the
seemed
concussion,
to enjoy it.
I don't really remember a lot of that last fight.
Mhm.
But, you know, I've been told I did relatively okay.
Exactly. And I know that you did your training montages with JC at some point, yes? He
no,
helped
JC
you.
was involved along the entire process. He was also my tag team partner. You know, we stick together. We know what we're doing.
Exactly. And through that, he kind of learned your greatest weaknesses, your biggest faults, yes?
Oh,
Would
yes.
you,
I do have a greatest weakness.
would you care to share that with the audience?
Absolutely not. I don't know if you recall, we are going to be fighting very soon.
God damn it, he's too smart for this. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have tried to pry that out of you. But
Kind of feels like you were trying, but it's okay. It's
never,
okay. We move
never
on.
would I ever. Bim, have I ever lied?
No.
Exactly. So, but JC, he seems to know this. Yes?
Yeah.
And it seems curious how he would be discussing something with Bert the Bear before he beat you to a pulp, concussed you.
Yeah. No, like normally it's the ref that like runs the fighters down. I had a good long talk with Noah about how the fight was meant to go, what we had to do.
Exactly. And I'm sure
Maybe Noah just asked the JC for a little bit of help. You know?
I hope that's the case. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, before there was an intermission during Cowards of Welcome Championship Knockout. Yes?
Yes.
And I remember during said intermission, Bim and I, we were just walking around backstage trying to find some sort of like fuel, water, whatever. Bim just coming off the mat from some like horrific
So
events.
sorry, Bim.
Bim,
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Never again.
But did I
Never
avenge her?
again? Yes.
Yes, I did. So, and we were walking backstage, and we heard a very lengthy phone call between JC and the sponsors, Target. Yeah, and they were just pressing for content.
Yeah.
And they were a little disgusted by the Fornarelli mindset that was presented earlier in the competition.
Just showing a completed bracket at the beginning of the
Exactly.
tournament broadcast. Yeah.
And the completed bracket being exactly what the audience had suspected, that you were going to win.
Right.
With the 3 Rocky montages under your belt. How could anyone suspect otherwise? I remember them being not happy.
I mean, fair, that's
Very
a goof.
fair. Very fair. It's a big goof.
Yeah.
Fornarelli.
Fornarelli.
You can't really, not the family, of course.
Never the family.
Never the family. So the thing is, that once again, he was under great stress to perform, to provide the content.
Yeah.
And
I mean, as we all were that night,
we all were. JC more so than others. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And he really needed to secure the sponsor for Cowards and Welcome Midsummer Madness.
Yeah.
Because he had that conceptualized before Cowards and Welcome Championship Knockout.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this has been JC's passion project, if you will. Would you agree?
Of sorts, yeah.
Seeing it fail would be miserable. I would hate to see that happen.
Anyone would.
Anyone would. Especially JC.
I suppose, yeah.
And I know if I were in his shoes, I would take great lengths, the greatest lengths, to secure the sponsor.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to connect any dots that should remain unconnected.
We do not connect dots around here, never.
No. We only have Venn diagrams.
Venn diagrams.
But
I hear a lot of people make them out of hula hoops.
Yes. That's what I've heard. The greatest of math teachers.
Mm-hmm.
It's been passed down through generations. But yeah, like there was the phone call.
Yeah.
There was JC training with you. And there was JC speaking with Bert the Bear before the thing. JC and his goddamn Fornarelli mindset releasing the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to speculate.
No speculation,
No speculation, of course. But this is show with a capital W, the rawest, most deepest, most
Raw
personal.
with a capital W.
Raw with a capital W, of course. Most intimate talk show. We would like to get personal. We like to get in depth. Have you ever suspected that JC might have had something to do with your loss?
Not really. No. Because, that would imply that, Cowards and Welcome was rigged. And it would never be rigged.
Well, not so much as rigged, but there might be influence from certain creators of the event. And these creators have the influence for competitors such as Bert the Bear.
Right.
And JC, knowing all the ins and outs of your training, knowing your greatest achievements, greatest weaknesses, he knows everything about you. Not only as a friend, but as a trainer, a partner, and I guess just anything under the sun that you can imagine. JC is to you. I hate to even suggest any sort of betrayal, but it seems to me, and I think BIM, that there could have been some influence in the triumph of Bert the Bear.
But why would JC do that? I don't understand.
Secure the sponsor.
To secure the sponsor. It's the psychology of, a troubled artist.
No, but that would mean that I lost because JC. But that doesn't make sense.
I know, and I don't want it to be true. Neither does Bim. She's shaking her head.
Not at all.
Which is great for an audio format. Once again.
No, but that means that I should have won.
Yes.
Well,
and,
yeah.
Well, the stats were on your side.
I mean, yeah, but Bert put such a great performance. That's just how these things go. It's an arena battle. You never know how it's gonna turn out.
But Grayson, 3
Yeah.
Rocky montages. 3. Jeb Bush just woke up and showed up at the arena.
Yeah.
Not Jeb Bush. I'm sorry. Bert the Bear. And you beat
Also
him
Jeb
twice
Bush.
before. Also Jeb Bush. But Jeb Bush can do that. He's cool.
Yeah, Jeb Bush is.
I love Jeb
such a
Bush.
legend.
Have you seen him?
What a hero.
What a hero. That's one word I'd use to describe him. But yeah, like, of course, JC and you are the bestest of friends,
As the
above
song
all.
indicates.
as the song indicates.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there is an attachment that JC has to the Cowards of Welcome experience that is unlike any other.
Yeah.
It's his passion project.
Uh-huh.
And seeing that fail, I don't know what it would mean for JC.
So what you're saying is that JC told Bert how to beat me, and I lost because JC cheated and rigged cuck.
We didn't say any of that.
I would never say that.
No. We gave you the two
The
hula
facts.
hoops. You made him a Venn diagram.
But what about the hula hoops you're holding right now?
Well, hula hoops.
Well, the ones you just shaped into a Venn diagram.
No.
That unrelated hula hoops?
Unrelated.
Oh,
Yeah. The real Venn diagram was the friends we made along the way.
I see.
It was in our hearts all along.
No, but like, what friends did I make along the way? The Venn diagram just told me that JC cheated and rigged cuck so that I would not be the first champion.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what if the hula hoops have spoken, if that's what they've said, if that's what you're hearing.
But I don't like hula hoops.
I can understand where this
Why are the
is.
hula hoops so mean?
I can understand where this is coming from. I really can. And I really feel for you because I know firsthand what it's like to lose when it matters most.
Jeb watched me lose. Jeb was there.
This was going to be your entrance to the political arena, and I am just mortified that it couldn't happen for you.
So what now?
I don't know, but I do have a little voice talking in my ear saying it might be time for commercial. And I really hate to end this way, but we have to secure our sponsors, much like JC.
Mhm.
Bunch of money hungry losers. You're all Fornarellis when it comes down to it.
But not me. I'm part of the family, yes.
Family.
Family. Of
Family.
course, for the family. Not sure about Bim, though.
What a Fornarelli.
What a goddamn Fornarelli.
Dang.
But before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say? Say to the audience, say to the wonderful audience out here?
No.
Okay. Grayson? I'm really sorry.
Bye-bye.
The company. Have you ever wanted to set your own schedule, be your own boss, set your own rules, and be independently wealthy? I was just like you when I learned about this life-changing opportunity I'm about to tell you about. I'm a self-taught millionaire with countless investment tips and secrets that I can share with you to allow you to live financially secure and free. In my tell-all free webinar, I'll share with you the secrets to my success so you can have a big car, big house, big woman. Just like I have taught so many others. There's one guy in Texas, I think some in Maryland. Have you ever paid a bill? Electric, water, rent? Now what if that bill paid you? How do you ask? Well, here at the company we make money work for you. When you pay your bills, then get money back from the bill. You get money because your money works for you. And then you get paid for your money working for you. Let me start over. Ever heard of a residue?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to... Everyone shut up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Show with a capital W, my favorite, your favorite, and everyone's favorite late-night TV show. Bim, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so good.
We just had 2 amazing conversations with Grayson and JC. They're currently in the room with us right now, but nothing from JC. But we are currently here to talk to Hans.
Hello.
Also, Steven.
What's up?
Cool. So, it is no secret that there has been the great New York trip.
The wonderful Chargle birthday bash.
Of course, I have the t-shirt to prove it. So I would like you guys to just give a rundown of the events. High points, low points, near-death experiences from Steven, and just all of the above. And if anyone wants to chime in, that would be great. But I just want the New York trip, Chargle birthday bash to be immortalized forever in this episode of Show with the capital W.
Absolutely. So this New York trip started out as us starting in Bullen, leaving for the Megabus, which its origin point is in Washington, D.C. Now, the great thing about this already is that the entire night and leading up to the drive to D.C., it was snowing.
Snowing a lot.
So much.
More than we've had in a while.
More than we thought as well, because the bus was supposed to arrive in D.C. for us to ride way longer before we were supposed to show up, around 9. Our bus was at 10:30. But no, our bus did not even show up until about almost an hour later. And once it did show up, we weren't even sure if the bus driver
Would take us to New York?
would take us to New York or not.
So, Steven.
What's up?
Were you even listening?
What's up?
We're talking.
Perfect.
They're
Perfect, Steven. So, did you have a fun time waiting for the bus?
I loved waiting for the bus. My favorite part was when we walked into the really bad snow,
Mm-hmm.
and in the bus, we waited for the really bad snow.
Perfect.
And then we drove in
Thank
the
you,
really
son.
bad snow too.
Mhm.
No, my favorite part was when we got stuck, I think, like 9 times.
In the
I
really
was
snow.
just sitting there, like praying.
I like the noise of the bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
he
really
was so
obvious
upset.
that it was really obvious that our bus driver was frustrated by this starting to melt ice, which led to the wheels not being able to spin and get us out of it.
Yeah, well,
Um,
can I please
yeah.
interject here? Well, okay, guys, this whole, whatever this is going to have to stop because I'm being
It's
so
a f-
distracted
It's a
right
fidget party, and
What do you mean?
now. Okay. So, yeah, so while we were waiting for the bus, the hand slapping game.
Was
That was
born.
when
that's
this
when
was
it
born.
was born.
I think it was just like JC was like, "Oh, this is a thing, right?" And then it started. We just kept going.
Mhm.
For the listening audience, if you don't know what the slapping game is, one person has their 2 hands out, and the other person has their 2 hands on top of the other person's, and the person's hands who are on the bottom has to try to slap the other person's hands before they are able to react to it. And if they get a slap, then they win, and they switch hand positions.
That's just how it works.
It's just how it works. And I am the reigning king of
No,
the hand
Hans
slapping
is so good.
game.
For like
And for
someone who
what?
like barely played, like he just came in and whooped all of our asses.
He what?
Yeah. Grayson wants me to play right now, but no, I'm
No, he
currently
can't.
guesting
Huh?
on a show.
Yeah, he's on.
Isn't it
Yeah,
Grayson,
she didn't
Grayson,
even understand.
Grayson, where are your manners? Anyway, so I feel like once we got through like the city part, once we got through the city part of Washington D.C., like once we got on the highway, everything was better. It was smooth sailing from there. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so. We played games, crossword. Yeah,
So
it was a
many
crossword.
crosswords.
Guys,
On the bus.
who
I
in
love
God's
cross-
name is Yeto?
What is
Yeto.
a Yeto?
What is a
A
Yeto?
Yeto.
What is a Yeto?
Jesus Christ!
My goodness.
Does anyone know?
Please, you can.
Stephen Boy, you can say what you want.
If you're one of the live listening audiences on the radio right now, you can call in at 567-8234, and we'll
That's
take
a full
take
phone
your
number.
answer for what a yellow is.
I like the
Anyways.
part on the bus where he said,
Oh.
"Hey, our bus driver just really wants us to go to New York," so he left at Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they,
he
So,
like,
like-
didn't go to
So like,
New
where
York,
did
yeah.
where did he go?
Yeah.
Where did he
he
go?
just got off. Like we stopped at a random grocery store and like just switched drivers.
And he said it was a rest stop too, and he was like, "It's not a rest stop."
And why
Yeah,
weren't
once
we
we
allowed
arrived-
off?
Yeah,
Why
like-
were we allowed off?
we were there for like 15 minutes. He was like, "This is not a rest stop," but we were literally resting there.
I felt like a child back in elementary school, where like you only could listen to the bus driver and like that's what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
On those field trips. Yeah,
Exactly. So once we got to New York, we were met with Grandma, Grandpa,
yeah. Yes.
Grandma, Grandpa.
Grandma, Grandpa. First impressions. Steven, first
What's up?
impressions.
I like the part where we met Grace, great, what was his name
JC's
again?
grandma's
JC.
grandma and
JC?
grandpa. Yep.
JC.
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 I like JC's grandpa a lot because he said nothing to me the entire way to his house, but he
That's
like
a lie. That is
That's
a
a massive
bold-faced
what's
lie.
what are we talking about?
I just remember my only wish being, I need this man to like me.
He was so cool. He started trash talking you, and you decided, this man right here, I want him to like me.
No,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, a lot of his humor comes from attacking
Wait.
character. It comes from attacking, like, your character. But he does it in such a playful way that you realize that he's just messing around. And
But it's still terrifying.
it's
so
terrifying.
scary.
But
It's terrifying.
even if you're the one getting attacked, you're enjoying it because it's so funny.
Exactly.
I laughed every time.
I think it's because he was like a war vet, and like he's like he like knows a lot of criminals, right? So like he knows that he can beat us up, so we can't really talk back.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Grandma, first impressions.
Grandma.
She was so sweet. We
She's
were
the
getting an
sweetest.
actual like professional tour of the city in our car.
No.
We weren't.
We were not.
I got a math
My
lesson.
favorite part was like Grandpa would like no rhyme or reason would just start calling Grandma
Yeah.
on the phone relentlessly, like telling her the smallest detail of information, then hanging up, and then 5 minutes later calling her again.
Yeah.
Yep,
Like
yep.
sometimes she would hang up and he wouldn't notice, and he'd like start yelling at her. No, but my all-time favorite part was when on the dashboard of the car, like you could see like who he's calling, and it says Annie parentheses wife,
Yeah, no, hers
just
says,
in case he forgets.
Yeah,
Hers-
hers says parentheses hubby.
Anthony,
Yeah.
parentheses, hubby. Yeah.
Guys, mine says JC parentheses grandson. So don't worry.
Just in case they forget. Which
What
is
if they forget?
absolutely
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's so funny.
JCs in their life.
Yeah.
Of course.
JC
Uh-huh.
accent
Of course,
mark.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
are very common.
Very, very.
Yeah. So we in Grandma's car, we were getting a full in-depth history and tour of the buildings around us as we traveled to their New York house, which was just so awesome.
Yeah, well, Ben pointed out that the 3 quietest individuals were put in the car
Yeah.
with Grandma.
That is correct.
I
Yeah,
feel
we-
like the 3 hungriest individuals are put in the
we
car
were-
with grandma.
Yeah.
No,
At
because
this point, we were also very hungry.
starving.
We didn't actually pack any snacks.
Well,
for
We
the
didn't think
bus.
that far ahead.
We didn't think.
Well,
no.
and not that we didn't think that far ahead. We didn't think we would need to.
It
So
wasn't
true.
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to be that long of a journey to get to
Exactly.
New
Yeah.
York.
It was supposed
Exactly.
to
We
be
were
3
supposed to be-
hours. It
yeah.
took more than 5 or 6.
Yeah,
It took a while.
it took way too long. So, that wasn't pleasant. But once we got to the house, we were immediately bombarded with just so much food.
All the food.
More food than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Let's see. We went out to get pizza. We
Mhm.
had the Sicilian pizza as well as
Yes.
the cheese pizza, which were both delicious. And then on top of that, we had stuffed
Guys?
shells. What are you
Thanks,
guys?
JC. Did you say the G word? 10 push-ups.
10
10
push-ups.
push-ups.
10 push-ups.
Okay, cool. What were you saying?
Yeah, bombarded with food. Stuffed shells, the pizzas,
Brownies.
brownies,
Cookies.
Cookies, everything.
fruits,
Everything under the
So
sun.
good.
the full meal, and that was it. That just shows how hospitable they were.
And
Yeah, they're
all
so
of it
sweet.
was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, wow, amazing. So then we all went to sleep, and we woke up the next morning optimistic. First thing we did, Jamaica.
Jamaica. We went to Jamaica.
We were in
Because
Jamaica the
we
whole
went-
time.
As the whole time we were always in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone knows this.
And when we went to the 99-cent store, I picked up a brand new like mini guitar, hoping to serenade you guys once we got back. Once we got back, the string immediately broke.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like you
Immediately.
tuned it.
I was
And
tuning it. First of all,
The tuning was not having it.
criminal.
Yeah.
But then when Grandpa heard of this, he was outraged, and he said we need to take this up with the manager immediately.
Get it
So
traded in.
exactly. So what did we do? We did something before prima pasta. That's
Prima
where we went.
pasta.
Prima
Right,
pasta.
So I think we're getting
So
a little
good.
bit ahead of
We
ourselves.
are. Sorry.
One thing.
Are
So
we?
Steven's phone had actually broken.
Oh, I forgot about
Oh
this.
my
before,
gosh,
Yes.
that
I
was
forgot
before
about
we
the
had
stork.
arrived in Bullen. as
No,
well.
it didn't break in Bullen. It broke in
Before is what I'm saying.
Alabama.
Yeah.
During the
before.
war.
Bama. Bama.
I think
Uh,
something in the moon pie made my phone break because that's when it
Yeah.
started
Definitely
breaking.
the moon pie's fault.
Definitely the moon pie.
And so part of his screen broke, and we were thinking, hey, since we're in Jamaica Avenue, there's got to be some electronic shops that could help repair his phone. So we did find a store which was nearby where we were dropped off, and turns out the price to repair the phone was
Expensive.
$290 to repair the screen, which
Wasn't the issue.
the global, like, one of the nationwide phone repair companies, You Break I Fix, they're known for notoriously expensive repairs. I think they would have done it for cheaper. So
The thing is, when Steven walks into a place like that, Steven
Right.
is a target. You know,
Oh.
Steven's vulnerable. Steven's the type of guy that will go in there and pay $500
Yeah.
to get his phone fixed.
Which
No,
he
you would pay
said-
$500 for a phone charger.
yes.
Thanks, Steven.
which so to this $290, he said yes, and we moved on. JC updated his grandfather on this situation. The grandpa was like, "No, you shouldn't have done that. We could look for another way around. He could upgrade his phone or whatever." And so, Steven and I went back to return to the guy and say, "Hey, we don't
Retrieve the
What
phone.
was that
Actually wants
experience
to-
like?
it was really cool.
really, Steven."
We're like, hey, we don't want this. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he tried to throw in a screen protector as well to lighten the deal.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But-
that screen protector.
yeah.
I can't believe you guys didn't
Makes
take
the
that.
whole difference.
He also tried to make us feel bad by saying, "Yeah, I already ordered the replacement
He
screen."
ordered a screen
course he
already.
did.
How that quickly?
Who
He's
knows?
fast.
But we kept insisting, no, we'd rather not do it here, and then
I-
he
Good
gave it
on
back.
you for sticking it through.
I have something unrelated.
Of course.
Thank you. Steve.
So during the first day when we stayed with JC's grandma, she was talking about JC's life, and she said that JC's name means moon in Native American.
Why does my grandma sound like that?
I don't know, but I really hope that like she doesn't Google what JC means, cause JC doesn't mean anything, Bim. If you don't know,
I'm
please
looking
look it
it
up,
up.
I'm sure it doesn't.
it's a
But yeah,
made up
okay,
native
yeah, so,
language.
Let me see.
So after that, I think we're back where
guys.
we were.
Yes,
Guitar,
guitar,
back home, prima
prima
pasta.
pasta.
And then Grandpa did the nicest thing for me ever, I think. And he like got them to sing "Happy Birthday" and bring out. a little
Yeah.
ukulele. Was it your idea?
Grandpa. Yes, it was our idea, but Grandpa was already planning on it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
I love Grandpa.
That's true.
I like the
That's too
mobsters
nice.
there. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a little terrifying. Like I walk in and like no one's wearing a mask, which was
Right.
fantastic. Guys, you can't have a separate conversation during this
I
part.
forgot this was a podcast.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I thought this was a show.
It was Bim's fault.
Not my fault.
Okay,
literally, Bill-
all in all, the pasta was great. The food was
Really
great.
good.
And what was the dessert called? For
Cannoli.
Your...
Cannoli.
Oh, that's what it's.
You ever
Cannolis
seen
were
The
great,
Godfather?
very sweet in my opinion. But
They were very, very good.
Godfather Part 3? You never seen it?
What?
Cannoli. How do you know what a cannoli is?
moving on.
You ever seen Godfather 3?
So after we got back from prima pasta, this was when Grandpa thought it was the best time for me to go to the dollar store and exchange my small guitar for a ukulele.
While the others all changed our clothes to get ready for Times Square.
Yes. So I changed in I think 0.3 seconds, And then JC and I hopped in the car,
Speed run.
and we sped on over to the dollar store, and we exchanged it. I got $1 back. Everything was great.
I'd like to apologize for this, Chargle.
Why?
Because when we were in the car
Yeah.
for like after the first minute or two,
Yeah.
my grandfather realized I was also in the vehicle.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He had no clue I was in there.
It was hilarious.
But when he was like, "Oh, well, why are you here?" and I was like, "Oh, I wasn't quick to
Emotional
think on my feet," so I just said it was a request, and and it's like, "Oh, so you're not comfortable with going down to me?" So I apologize formally, Chargle, for not
Thank
being
you.
more clever.
Yeah. You would think after all of these Tea Time Tuesdays you'd be on your feet, but
That's the whole
well, it only
point.
happens once every 2 months, so how can you blame us?
Not enough practice.
So what happened at the store? It was like, hey, this ukulele, it sucks.
Yeah, how was that experience?
Well, he's like, yeah, we bought it and the string is broken. He goes, and the lady goes, yeah, we don't have this, but like we have a ukulele. And I said, this is exactly what I wanted. And she goes, perfect. And then we exchanged it. I got $1 back. Everything was fantastic. And then suddenly we were at home.
That's
Awesome.
epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we left for Times Square.
Times Square. The ultimate goal of
Bless you, Ben.
Shut up.
This is a podcast.
Bless you,
Jesus.
the ultimate goal of
You're
Times
welcome.
Square was to
Wait.
watch Chicago
Watch
on
Chicago.
Broadway.
Oh my God, yes it was.
Oh my
But
gosh.
we
Oh
had
my
a few
God.
hours to spare, and so what stores did we go to? We went to.
We went to the M&M store. Bim, my
God.
God.
Damn.
We
Bless
went
you,
to
Ben.
the
I like-
M&M store. We went to the Hershey store, and that's all I care about.
I like the M&M store a lot.
What
That's-
else? Where else did we go?
We went to the Disney store for some reason.
We did go to
Yeah.
the Disney store.
And then we
why
walked
not?
down somewhere, and then we immediately turned back around.
We-
Well, we saw Jimmy Fallon
Yeah,
Oh.
it was like the wax museum,
At
and we
the-
just went into like the entrance
Because
to
I saw
take a
Jimmy
picture with
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah, so at
and
the,
then we immediately left.
Madame Tussauds wax figure museum. Because of COVID, they had to guard the entrance, and a lot of the procedures at the stores there, you have to show your ID and your vaccination card, and so we all showed ours and went in to take a picture with Jimmy Fallon,
and then promptly left.
and promptly left,
Yeah.
which
That's
was
all-
awesome.
That's all I needed.
The other thing was the Lion store, which I geek out on, but
I mean,
yeah.
It was good.
it was fun.
It was fun. We got to take a few pictures in there, which was really, really
Yep.
great.
And then we
I think then it
went
was Chicago time.
to Chicago.
Chicago time.
And this was when all hell broke loose. Grayson, would you like to tell this story?
Yes, Grayson, please.
love to tell this.
Go, Grayson.
Guys, I'm vaccinated.
What?
Boo!
Rest in
Didn't know our
peace,
studio
Freethinker
audience was
Grayson.
anti-vaxxer.
Rethinking Grayson.
You're the
We will
reason
never
why
meet him
America
ever again.
sucks.
I am sorry to let everyone down, but I am in fact vaccinated.
Boo.
I have my second dose of the vaccine. I got it on December 31st. Here's the thing. December 31st.
thing, you
The
mean.
thing.
The thing.
The thing.
Thing.
The thing.
That's too recent
You're
for
welcome.
Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Broadway.
Broadway.
No, it's Broadway.
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 It's too recent. You see, they require you to have that second dose for a whole 14 days, which I had not at that time.
That's usually protocol.
That's
Yeah, I don't really.
That's how
I
long
don't
it takes to
understand how it
work.
works. They didn't have that on any of the New York websites, so
Oh, wow.
that's where I was checking. Yeah. So when I go up to the gate, I show them my vaccine card. The guy's like, that's not 14 days. You can't get in. Oh, and I'm like, that sucks. And so I'm standing on the outside of the line. Everyone's on the inside of the line, and we're like, well, that sucks. And then I think it's JC says, well, what if you get a negative COVID test? And I say, I didn't ask. And so I go over and ask, and I ask the same guy, and I'm like, hey, what if I were to get a negative COVID test? And he says, doesn't count. Still can't let you in.
me when I lie.
Me when I.
The guy at the gate pulled a BIM. I walk back over to my friends. And I'm like, not going to work. Can't do the whole negative test thing. Luckily, Hans is simply too smart for Broadway. And he has this beautiful thing called the internet. And so he goes on their website and he finds out, gate guy just lied to me. Lied straight to my face. And so, what do you know? There's a COVID testing van, just one of the ones set up, but like right there. Walking distance, like within view. I walk over, they're closed.
Perfect.
Fantastic, even.
I would
Lovely.
say So.
Absolutely. So I walk back to my friend room. I'm like, hey,
Your
It's
friend
close.
group.
Friend
Which
group.
is not us.
Which is, other than us.
No,
I was
totally
about to
different.
say.
Why would it be us?
And I say, they closed. Can't do that one. And then I think JC points out, there's a CVS right there. CVS might have one.
Brain.
And so then I walk to the CVS. I walk in, and I ask them, hey, do you have any COVID tests? And they say, no, fresh out. Sorry. Tough luck. But they also say, there's another pharmacy on the other end of the block. So I walk to the other end of the block to a new pharmacy, and I say, hey, any COVID tests? And they say, tough luck, no. But another pharmacy. Just you wait. This pharmacy also did not have any. But
Sick.
yeah. But by this time, I had been directed to multiple pop-ups, both by Hans and by this pharmacy. And so I begin walking towards Times Square, and, there's three.
Mhm.
There's three in Times Square. Hans sends an address. Address doesn't lead actually anywhere to any of the trucks, but there are 3 trucks there. And so I go to the first truck, and I'm like, hey, do you have COVID tests? And they're like, yes. We have the PCR test. We can't use that one because that one takes like 6 days. I don't got 6 days to get into Broadway. Chicago's not that long.
No.
It's not anywhere near that long. Do they have a rapid test? No. Well, darn. I walk to the second of the trucks in Times Square and I say, hey, you have any rapid tests? And they're like, no. I go to the third truck
No.
in Times Square and I say, hey, do you have any rapid tests? And they say, yeah.
Did you hear the angels sing?
No, I think they were down 2 blocks back at the CVS.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oopsie.
Real sad time.
The
The
angels,
angels.
of course.
The Angels.
They thought I
Us.
was going to get the test over at the CVS. They didn't get the memo that they were out.
No.
So I get in line. I'm in line for like 15, 20 minutes. By this time, you've all gone in. JC's like, hey, I'm shutting off my phone. I'm like, sick. I'll let you know how it goes. Catch up with you during intermission. Oh, by the way, my phone will probably die. If it does die, I'll just wait outside. I'm not even going to stress anymore. I don't want to be lost in New York with a dead phone. So we call it good. JC says, maybe go to like CVS and get a charger. I'm like, that's a good idea. I'll have plenty of time.
Did you go back to the same CVS that did not have COVID rapid tests?
Sure did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
But I waited in this line for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Hard to tell what time. I was freezing cold. It was not a pleasant experience standing in that line. I get to the front. They stick a little thing up my nose. I almost sneeze. I'm very glad I did not sneeze in this woman's face.
That would be
would've been
so
really,
embarrassing.
that would be
That'd
really
be funny.
awkward.
So funny.
They swoosh my nostrils, and then they say go, and then I walk away. At which point, I get the charger, and I get a coffee from Starbucks. Now I bought this charger at the CVS for $30, which is a very expensive charger.
Quite the most expensive, I would
Well,
say.
don't worry. There were alternatives. Instead of buying the power brick with the charging cable, I could have brought them separately for $25 each for a total of $50.
Oh my goodness. Why didn't you choose that one?
It's such a sick deal. How could I not? Now, once I exit the CVS, I start walking back towards the Starbucks. They're like, okay, I'll sit down. I'll charge my phone. Everything will be well while I wait to get the results for this test. So I walk back to the Starbucks. I have my now opened charger in hand. Starbucks doesn't have any outlets.
Perfect.
Why?
Really fantastic. And so I think to myself, you know what? I saw McDonald's while I was walking by the CVS. I bet McDonald's did not have any indoor seating. McDonald's was takeout only. I
Wow.
looked all over for a single charger. No, like little power outlets.
So it might be too late to mention this now, but there are call boxes around New York where it's free to dial people. Underneath there are outlets.
Even if that were true, which I reject the notion that that is true, I did not see any call boxes.
That is so unfortunate.
What are you gonna do?
Simply find the call boxes.
Eventually, I give up on finding a power outlet. I figure, you know what? I have my coffee. I'm going to hang out at the Starbucks, look out on Times Square, and just relax. I'm chilling. I actually had a pretty fun walk after I got the test because, like, I'm not stressing. I'm not racing around anymore. It was a really pleasurable walk. It's now been about an hour. I have my phone in hand. It's probably on, like, 12% at this point. and like my phone's really old, so it like drains super quick. So like I'm looking at maybe like 15 minutes of like battery time tops, and I'm just waiting to get an email from the rapid test, and I finally get it, and I open it up, and I have COVID.
No way.
No.
Yay! No,
Because you got
actually,
vaccinated.
I tested negative.
All thanks to his vaccine.
Can you
All thanks to my
imagine
vaccine.
though?
Unlike McReal, that guy is so anti-vax.
Oh my god, I can't even stand
It's
him.
unbelievable. Should have got vaccinated. And it's not like I had any suspicion that I had COVID, but like it's still nice to know.
Yeah, no, it's always good to receive a negative COVID test.
Yeah, a lot better than a positive one.
Mhm.
With this newfound information and my rapidly dying phone, I run my way back to Chicago. The line that was originally out front has since vanished. I can just like walk in now. I walk in. I walk up to the people in there, and I'm like, "Hey, I know I'm really late, but any chance I could still get in? I have everything here. I have my vaccine card, passport. I have a negative COVID test." And they're like, "Sure, let's just take a look at it." I show them everything, and like, "Yeah, you're good to go." And so they walk me in. My ticket goes to the upper part where you originally were.
Mhm.
And so
Our
I sit up
actual
there until
seats.
intermission, and then after intermission, I go and find you, and then all is well.
This was perfect. And the reason why we weren't in our actual seats was because when we were walking into Chicago, this man
A
taps Jim on the
strange
shoulder.
little man
Strange little man.
taps on my shoulders and he says, he said, "Let me see your ticket." I was like, "Okay." I show him my ticket. He said, "Come with me." So
Come.
exactly.
How did you not laugh when he talked to you?
I was on the verge, and we walked down, and then they escort us to the second row, for some reason. It's because of me.
It was really, really cool. Like
Just 'cause
being
of
that
me.
close. Like usually I'm not a fan of being that close, but since the stage was so low,
Knees.
like it was a very enjoyable experience. And like you can make eye contact with the performers, and it was like just such a like a human experience. Like watching them, it was so cool.
And at the end, they threw out all these roses, and I was so close to catching a rose.
Yeah, and this dick behind Bim sticks out his arm, almost whacking her in the face, and snatches the rose. Same
was
thing
like-
happened to Steven, yes?
it was like
I think it's me
practically
and
my
JC,
hand.
yeah.
Oh my god, it was the worst.
My favorite part of this trip was when Gray could have avoided his whole entire adventure by just getting in line and no one not noticing him.
He literally could have just walked in
Like
line.
there was literally a hole for Gray, like
Literally.
scoop
There was
in
no
there.
second check or anything.
Yeah, no.
Like he already looked like he was in line.
Yeah, there was an like where we were positioned in line was the perfect opening. No one was watching. It could have been
Literally
so easy.
no
He
one.
could
Like,
have just
you-
walked in and then like bent his knees a little bit so no one would see him.
Yeah,
It was easy.
The slouch.
If I got caught, no.
Okay, but like, did we get caught?
Well, you could
Did we?
Did we get caught? Huh?
Did we?
obviously not.
Didn't think so.
Did we?
Whatever. doesn't
Okay,
matter.
okay,
After
okay, yeah.
Chicago, after Chicago, we just go home. I think.
Well.
Well, no, after Chicago, we go to the stage door, and then I accidentally called a
Oh,
cast
yes,
member
oh my God, I
lame.
forgot about this.
Yes, exactly.
So we were at the stage door as you have to after Broadway, and
Broadway.
they weren't doing autographs or pictures or anything, but like you could still watch them walk out and stuff. So like all of our favorites came out, but there was this one girl that JC just had an attachment to. Her name was Bun Girl. Her name was Mary Claire, and she will be on the Boi Oh Boy podcast soon.
Mhm.
And so when everyone else would come out that wasn't Bun Girl, we would kind of
Who is Bun Girl,
feign
by the
a little
way?
bit of disappointment.
We were.
Whatever. But this one time, one of the performers comes out, and Bim very loudly goes, "Lame."
It was not that loud.
Very loudly.
It
It
was
was
pretty
not
loud.
that loud. I just
And-
said lame. I
and
just
then
said it.
A little bit of time passes, and like the guy passes, he goes, "Lame? That's rude." And Bim collapses on the floor and starts dying.
Actually, literally, I've never been more embarrassed in my entire life. This person on Broadway,
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
worked their entire lives for this.
and like more talented than I will ever be. I just,
And Bim's all like, "Lame."
I cannot.
Where do you get off? What's your damage?
What's your damage, Bim?
Don't
Who
know.
are you?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
So Bim embarrassed us all, and we said, "You know what? We just have to leave now." So then we went home.
Yep.
That was sick.
the reason I didn't meet Bum Girl.
I'm really, really
And-
sorry.
That was love of his
Okay,
life.
So that night
Bim.
before we went to bed,
Sorry.
this was Star Wars night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did we have food? We had food. Of
Yeah,
course
had
we had
leftovers.
food.
We had a knish.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So-
had Kanish.
Yeah, we just had a bunch of food and then we tried to watch Star
Tried
Wars.
to watch Star Wars.
Everyone except
Holiday
for Hans
special.
and Grayson fell asleep.
That's a really good movie.
It was. Don't lie.
It was
Why do you lie?
It was
Steven?
really good.
Why do you
This-
lie?
I didn't lie.
This movie, I would
What?
akin it to. You know how people like to listen to whale sounds to fall asleep?
Yeah.
This is just listening to Wookiee sounds to fall
Wookiee
asleep.
dialogue, you mean.
Wookiee dialogue.
Wookiee dialogue.
I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during the Wookiee.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I like the part where one of the Wookiees put on a VR headset and it got a virtual lap dance. It was really cool.
That was I think is my favorite
Iconic.
part.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so yeah,
iconic.
it was late.
Yeah,
we
and I
we
think-
were bored. We
yeah,
fell
I
asleep.
think I speak for all of us when everyone who was sleeping on the couch woke up, went to where they were supposed to be sleeping, and immediately fell asleep.
and collapsed. Yeah.
Clocked
and
out.
collapsed.
Slumped.
Woke up the next morning. Breakfast. We went where?
To Central Park.
Central Park.
Central Park.
Oh my
This was
gosh.
yesterday.
Central Park.
Yes.
Wait, no, we went somewhere before Central Park.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we
Family
did.
photos.
Family
Oh
photo.
my!
JC
I
JC
literally
Penney.
forgot
The
about that.
mall.
Who's-
JC's Penny.
JC's
Penny?
Penny.
His penny.
JC's Penny?
Yeah,
JC's
Wow,
Penny.
JC Okay, yeah. So we took family photos at
It's funny when
JCPenney
when
portraits.
McReal says it, Grayson. Okay,
You say that, but I used to make that joke in middle school.
You're so funny,
he
Steven.
did.
You're really
Okay.
original.
So thankfully we were able to get a Groupon for the photo session that we got at JCPenney Portraits, and
Everyone knows the best picture is the one of me and Steven.
That is so good.
it is the best picture. You can find this picture on Steven's Twitter profile, by the way. As
Yeah,
his
it's
banner.
I'm his banner.
I like
It's
their
us.
theory where the amount of BIM in a picture makes it better.
Yeah.
So like if a picture is 0% BIM, it's not that great. But if there's at least 25% BIM in the picture, then it's a wonderful picture.
That's just how it works.
Mhm.
I'm so
Clearly.
glad. I
That's the
could do
formula.
that for y'all.
And so at once our photo shoot was done, we had taken 20 shots.
What?
We
Only one of them mattered.
only one. Okay, yeah. JC was no, actually, while the photos were processing and she was showing us all the shots, we started talking to the lady.
Yeah, and she didn't like talk to us in that way until she started processing. the
Until she
photos.
realized,
Yeah.
yeah.
Until she realized what type of person Steven was. I think her
Yes.
first comment was like, "I like this kid," and then like,
I like
He's not
her.
like
He's
he's
not
not
like-
like y'all.
he's not like the
There's
other
something
people.
different about this kid.
I already liked her because of that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then that's how we gained her trust.
Yeah.
I think what she wanted to do was to leech off like one of us because she thought one of us would be like really successful in
Exactly.
the future.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
when we learned about the company.
It's really what I'm hoping
the
you,
company.
to
This
do
is-
with you guys.
Exactly. This is what we learned when we learned about the company.
The company.
The company.
So
Just listen to the ad earlier in the podcast. That's the company.
that's the company. Do I want? Never mind.
Whatever. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's
We left
The
JC
company.
Penny.
We left
his
JC Penney.
penny.
JC's Penny.
We went back. Eat Central Park.
Central Park.
wiffle ball.
Wiffle
Well,
ball.
We
First,
we arrived, and so we walked around looking for a place to play wiffle ball. But in like sometime in between, somebody was like, "Hey, are we gonna meet Tiger today?" And so JC,
Tiger?
I hardly know her.
Thank you.
good one. And so JC called him, and we ended up meeting. And at that time, it was starting to get really dark.
No, you missed an important
Already.
part.
What did I miss,
You
Steven?
missed the part where we're walking down rocks, and then all of a sudden Bim just slips
He slipped
and breaks
And-
her butt.
Flat on her dump truck.
and just mud all over me.
Her
Her
butt.
poor Dumpy got even more
my,
dumpy.
my poor Dumpy.
No.
My poor Dumpy. Yeah,
Poor
exactly.
Dumpy.
Playing wiffle ball.
Yes. It did not go well. So
We did not play that very long.
one, it was getting dark. We couldn't see anything,
Of
and
course.
when the ball was in the air, it's a white wiffle ball where the lights are shining behind it. It's very hard to see the ball. The other thing is it was very muddy from the night's rain or a few nights, whatever, rain before. And the third was it was very slopey. We were playing on a hill, and so all of those contributed to a generally poor experience, but
We
all-
won though. We
we all
won.
know who won.
We
We won,
we won.
guys.
What a Finelli mindset.
I like the part.
Fornarelli.
You don't even know the
She
name
doesn't
of your own
finish.
joke.
The lore of her own family. She doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know.
That's embarrassing.
Really
Do you know what we
embarrassing.
know? The three of us,
three
me,
of us.
Bim, Steven, we're winners.
We are winners.
Wiffle ball
Born to be a
podcast.
winners, even.
That's our name.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're the winners.
They get fewer bases. They got those bases through balls.
Here's the
Balls.
thing.
balls.
Balls.
We actually drafted Grayson into our team, but then Grayson's like,
and then
you
he
know
just
what?
left.
You guys are really lame. And then he drafted himself.
For the family.
For
You
the
can't
family.
draft yourself. Who are you, Antonio Brown?
So after Wiffle
It got
Ball,
funnier the second
Tiger
time.
was like, okay, let me put you on some good. And he just starts taking us random places.
Yeah, he took us outside of Central Park to the areas, just the blocks around it, and we got water for Grayson and a soda. Was there a soda for one of you guys?
No.
No. Okay, never mind.
Absolutely not.
But then we did come up upon a
Come.
shop.
No.
Charlotte got her
for
palm read.
Chargle.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
I passed the
shop.
shop and I was like, wait a minute. I backtracked. I was like, palm readings? Sign me up. And so like, the girl came out, and she goes, like, think of whatever, and like it was a very enjoyable experience that I had. I loved the girl. She was so cool, and it was just, she told me what I needed to hear, like, and she really like reassured me. It was really, really fantastic. It was very like personal, and like even though I didn't even like know her, like I felt like she cared about me and like genuinely like wanted to help me, which was like so cool. I did not expect that to actually be factual at all, and like it was so cool. Everyone who wants to should definitely go get their palm read.
Yeah. So looking back at that, I feel like I kind of wanted to have my
You
palm
should
read.
have.
I wanted to, but it was just so long of a process, and it was cold.
And it was
I would,
cold.
I would like honestly, I would recommend it. Like, it was really, really, really enjoyable, and it taught me a few things about myself. Like, it really reassured me. Like, especially going into like this next period of my life where like I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, within like the next week. So it's just insane.
This was a lot of character development for you.
Yes, it was. So, yeah, anyone who's in New York should go get their palm read.
Yep. So after that, Tiger led us to the closest subway stop that would take us back towards the Rockefeller Center area, which at that point was where he left us as we went on the train. At Rockefeller Center, we first went to the Lego store, in which they were closing in 3 minutes as we got there.
So we did the speediest run we could
Speed
through
run.
the entire Lego
Speed
store, and I
run.
think like I was completely satisfied with my trip.
So
Yeah, me too.
satisfying.
We got to sit in the Lego car.
We got great pictures out of it too.
It was
yeah.
fantastic.
And then after that, we wanted to go check out the Nintendo store, which we showed up to, and they were already closed.
You don't get it, Hans. Me and Ben were so excited. We waited for 2 days for the Nintendo store, and then it was closed.
That really sucks. But at least
it
we got a
was-
picture with Mario.
I
did.
sure did.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Bronze Mario statue. It was awesome. Which after that we went to have a little
Starbucks.
bit of have a snack and
Yeah.
such
Just
before.
calm down before ice skating.
We
Fuel
got-
ourselves.
We got a
before.
We got a New York staple, Starbucks. It
Exactly.
was
Yes.
so cool.
We went to
And
Starbucks
New York-
And Five
and
Guys.
then Five Guys, which you can't get anywhere else.
Mhm.
Nowhere else. Yeah, so we got Starbucks and Five Guys.
My favorite
and-
part was when Grace's like, I want a place to sit down and
You
drink
got
some
free-
coffee.
You got some free bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
So it
Five
turns
Guys.
out
I think
at Five Guys,
Steven didn't lie.
I didn't lie.
this entire
never
trip,
lie.
Steven told us, "Hey, you can
The
get
entire
free
trip.
buns-
The entire trip.
Entire trip.
free buns at Five Guys," and
Free buns.
nobody believed him, including Grandpa.
Grandma, Grandpa.
Grandma,
Yeah,
Grandpa
Grandpa.
did not believe him.
And so we were like, okay, we're gonna go to Five Guys as well on top of Starbucks. And it turns out if you just order buns on the side, they will give it to you for free.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Exactly what we needed.
It
And
was really
so-
cool because when I got my fries, it was like, hey, I was like, hey man, can I have buns on the side? And the guy's like really confused about it. So he goes to the cashier, and the cashier looks at me, and I wave back at her. So the guy like goes to his manager and is like, I guess he talked about giving free buns. The manager's like, just do it. So the guy looks really mad about it, and he put like 4 buns in a wrapper, which he didn't have to do, by the way. Wrapped it up and gave it to me. And then did the same thing with
And
Grayson.
then Grayson and JC mooched off the same technique.
Yeah.
No, Steven fed me his.
Oh, okay, of course.
And then this lady here was like, hey you, we got a soda by accident. Do you want it? And then Grayson's like, yeah. So we actually got free food for no reason.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go.
then Grayson decided, you know what? I'm not gonna be like other girls.
No.
I'm gonna go outside.
It was really
and sit on
cool.
the steps. And I said, you know what? I actually do kind of want to mooch off Grayson's burger. So I went out and I had a very pleasant conversation.
No,
with
it was
Grayson.
really cool with Grayson because he's like, hey guys, I want to sit down and drink some coffee. So
And
we
then
go
he
to
leaves.
So we go to Starbucks. He realizes we can't sit down at Starbucks. So we go to Five Guys to sit down. He's like, you know, I don't want to sit here.
We had just gotten a table too.
Steven, can we talk about how upset you are we went to Starbucks?
I'm so upset for Starbucks. I wanted coffee. And Grayson's like, I want the traditional New York coffee.
Thank you.
Starbucks. And then I want a traditional burger. Five Guys.
Okay,
So
so after this, we were all satiated, energized for ice skating at
skating.
the rink at the Rockefeller Center. You know, the rink that is shown in so many Christmas movies with the Rockefeller Christmas tree,
Like Home
Like
Alone.
Home Alone?
like Home Alone,
Yeah.
like the newest Hawkeye
What's
season.
that?
It's just awesome. And so I want to hear all of our experiences at the rink.
Starting with Grayson.
Starting with Grayson.
I fell a lot. I don't know how to ice skate. I'm from the desert. I never learned. Thanks, guys. Oh, also, Chargo gave me the worst advice, and all of it was
No.
wrong.
No.
Literally,
okay.
all of it
Okay,
was
but here's the
wrong.
thing.
And then a
Here's the
lady
thing.
came up at the very end, 15 minutes before we stopped, and told me to do the exact opposite of everything Chargo told me to do, and it worked, and I was finally figuring it out, and then we had to go.
Chargle, defend yourself.
Who was the best ice skater in our group?
The grandma. Dude, she was so cool.
The 6 of us right here. Who was the best ice skater?
W was.
Exactly. I was just giving stuff that works for me to Grayson, and
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Grayson doesn't have the background of 14 years of ballet training, but I can imagine how it can be bad or difficult for his itty bitty tiny brain to understand. But that's what works for me.
Itty bitty tiny brain and 6'7" height.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was so fun. I got so close to learning how to skate backwards, so that was
Yeah,
really cool.
you were kind of doing it for a little bit.
Exactly. Bim,
could
how
have
did
it.
you like it?
I loved ice skating. I fell once trying to look back, and I just I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Actually, I don't remember what happened. And then a second time, I was helping Charlotte skate backwards, and then she pushed me down.
That is, I recall it differently.
What's so sick?
How do you recall it then?
You just fell because the cute boy who was one of the hosts there, he was passing and Bim fell over because she wanted him to help her up.
That's not even
Dude,
true.
that's so
It's so
cool.
true. JC,
That's
how
not
was your ice
true.
skating experience?
I was assaulted, is what happened. Yeah.
What?
Really?
So, our D3 Bimily, right? She came up to me on the ice when we were there at Rockefeller
Came.
Plaza.
This is
Wait,
not
guys.
true.
And she was like, she tapped me on the shoulder. She came up from behind me. She was like, "Hey, JC, let's race to Chargle." And I was like, "You know what, Bim?
How far
that
ahead
sounds
was I?
Like not even that
Not
far.
even that far.
Like,
like a quarter of the rink." Yeah.
barely.
And so I said, "Oh, Bim, that sounds so dangerous. I don't know. It's not a good idea." And she said, "What are you, a coward?" And I said,
Frankly, cowards are unwelcome.
"Exactly. That was the mindset that I had." So I said, "Okay, I guess we have to now." And we proceeded to race. I beat Bim to you, Chargle. I tapped you on the shoulder and proceeded to fall directly onto my knees, almost smashing my head into the ice.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like he knelt into the ice.
No, because now I think was like the funniest experience of my entire life because like JC was mere fractions of an inch away from the ground. Had he actually hit his head, I don't think JC would be alive today.
It would have been bad, guys. We would not be here in Bulin. I would not be
at
here.
all. Like, JC would be like suffering from major brain damage.
My favorite part was when that's what we talked about earlier about me dying.
Yeah.
But it was JC
It's JC.
Yeah.
who happened to.
Yeah.
It's caramel, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, how was your
This is
experience
why
on the
you
ice,
don't
Steven?
challenge me
My
to
experience, I really liked it. I didn't know how to skate because I never did it before, so I hanged onto the rails a lot, and I kind of realized that people don't like to like move while they're on the rails. So I had to like skate like over them, like around them. So then I learned how to skate, and then people tried killing me. It was really cool.
I was
So
trying to get a
exciting.
penguin for both
Like,
Steven and Grayson.
Bim and Charcoal came up to me and just grabbed my arms, and then we almost fell down. It was really cool.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Hans?
Me, I had the best experience. Not the best. You guys probably had more fun than me, but I had such an amazing experience.
That's so exciting.
So me on the ice skating, my feet are not built for rental skate shoes. I have wide feet and they start hurting after 20-25 minutes after skating. And so I'd take a few breaks, which that's not an issue. It's just giving my feet a rest. And in the end, I ended up switching up one size, and that's great.
Perfect.
Me falling, I fell once, and all the other times were like really cool saves. I don't know if any of you saw
Nice.
them.
Like Neo.
Like
Exactly,
Neo
Just
from
like
Matrix.
Neo.
Exactly
Neo on
like
ice.
Neo.
One of
Matrix
them-
on ice.
Matrix on ice.
One of them,
When's it happening?
I clearly remember like falling forward or sideways and really smoothly like land in a push-up stance.
You go.
Good go,
It
dude.
was
Hey.
just so cool. People like applauded me.
Dude, that's
and,
sick.
And
I got back
everybody
up.
clapped.
My strap was bumping to a wall.
That's
Yeah,
so exciting.
yeah.
Thank
The
you.
wall is a good bumper.
Steven, you were
Um,
actually very good at keeping your balance.
I-
like, very
Yeah.
good.
I want to say
Yeah.
Steven
Thank you.
improved so much from
Yeah.
What?
stepping onto the ice and then coming off.
Cannot say the same about Grayson.
No.
not at all.
Grayson, you did improve at the end once you were given the advice from the old grandma.
Guys,
The nice grandma.
the advice I gave Grayson was from a place of legitimately wanting to try to help him.
It was all wrong.
I think Michelle was right. It was sabotage.
Absolutely
Sabotage.
sabotage.
I think it was.
I have a theory about the grandma.
The grandma?
The grandma. I think the grandma is Chargle from the future.
Actually,
Just
Really?
think about it.
Actually.
Chargle decides, you know what? I don't dance more. I want to do ice stuff.
ice stuff.
So she moves to New York, becomes an ice skater after all these years. She discovers that if she spins fast enough on the ice, 88 miles per hour, boom, time
Back in
travel.
time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And the first thing she does goes back to help Grace learn how to ice skate.
Aww.
Fix her
You're welcome,
mistakes.
Grayson.
Aw.
So it was me all along.
Try-
Do you take it back?
No,
For the family?
for the family.
Okay, thanks, Grayson. After ice skating?
In the end, we spent about an
Oh.
hour and a half at the rink.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were only supposed to spend an hour there, but
YOLO.
They weren't doing any checks or anything, so we
After-
stayed until they had to start cleaning up the ice again. Which I think I can speak for all of us that we all just genuinely had so much fun on the ice skating rink.
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
But after that, I
After
think
that.
what was probably the highlight of the trip, Cookie Puss.
Yeah.
Cookie Puss.
Guys.
Grayson the mic, I want him
Guys.
to say it one time.
Cookie push.
It's perfect.
Yes, the cussy.
The cussy, if you will.
The cuss.
So before heading back to Grandma and Grandpa's place, we thought we could stop by at
Carvel.
Carvel. I was thinking Culver's. Carvel to get a cookie puss, and so at first we went to the counter, asked them if they had any, and so the
They said no.
girl
They
said
checked the
no
back.
and checked the back. There wasn't any.
So Jason's like, you know
So
what?
they had us
Enough
check
of
the
this.
front.
I'm gonna check the fridge. So Jesse rips open the fridge door,
Yes, he
grabs
does.
cake, throws him on the ground, sees this long nose of green ice cream. He's like, you know what? This is the cookie puss. And then we bought it
sure
for
it
$30.
We bought it and brought it home on the subway, which this is when the subway stopped, one stop away from our final destination.
Yeah,
That
it
was
wasn't
so
that
exciting.
bad, but oh well.
It
It's
was
part of the experience.
Weird.
The
It was just-
vibe.
yeah,
It's
part of the
fine.
New York experience.
Exactly.
And so we got home safely. And
Ate the cussy.
Cussy, yeah.
Mhm. It was
And
so
then
good.
Grayson cut my hair.
And then Grayson cut Charles'
And JC.
hair.
JC
And
cut
JC.
Like JC cut my hair too. I'd say JC contributed more than.
How many
Grayson.
inches did you cut
Way
off,
more.
JC?
Mm-hmm.
Couple.
JC
inches?
contributed more, but creds to Grayson for
Guys,
sure.
Yeah, and then we
And I
proceeded
fell
to
asleep.
stay up all night.
At first, we were also watching Chargle.
We were watching
Twilight.
Oh Hello on Broadway,
Oh, Hello on Broadway.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
I think one of my favorite like comedy specials on Netflix.
Oh, Hello on Broadway.
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 On Broadway.
Broadway.
And then we watched Twilight, and then Tick Tick Boom, and then and then suddenly Grandpa came downstairs.
Grandpa
and
was there.
He was waking up to go get us breakfast, and we were
Right.
like, "Oh, okay." Then we packed up our stuff. We ate,
Hopped on the bus,
Hopped on the bus,
headed back.
and we're home.
and now we're here.
Now we're here.
And
Yay!
now
No,
Ben
you
and
missed
I.
the part. You missed
What?
the part.
What part?
The part where Jason's like, guys, this is not a joke. I lost my car keys.
We got back from ice skating. The whole house was sent into a frenzy because JC convinced himself that he had brought his keys to New York and then promptly lost them. Turns out they were in Bullen the entire time, but at the time we did not know that. But Beethan was here to save
It
them.
was
yeah,
so
Beethan,
cool.
Beethan says I text him. I said, one second, guys.
Tim, prepare the text before you start.
My
your
bad.
sentence.
I said, hey, if you're awake, can you check the basement room nightstand to see if JC's keys are there? And he said, yep, they are. Don't need to check. I saw him today. Almost took the Toyota for a spin. And I told him, do it. And he said, joking, by the way, tell him I never do that. And so then I wanted to make sure, because JC wanted to make sure. I said, so they are there. And he said, yes. And then I said, okay, great.
Yeah.
And then we played a game of spot the difference.
Thank you, Ben. And in poor defense of JC, he said he told me, or he thought he told me
Okay.
that he had chosen to leave the keys on the
Nightstand.
nightstand.
I know I'm very bad about that kind of stuff, right? Like I knew I would freak out at some point.
Yeah.
And so I remember specifically when we were like upstairs, like by the front door, I remember telling someone, and I'm pretty sure it was you, Hans, like, hey, I'm leaving this here in Bullen. Like, help me remember that. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
Potentially.
I am pretty sure you didn't tell that to me, and you told Steven that, which
Which is fair.
completely.
I liked his grandpa just complain the entire time of looking for the car keys.
It was great.
was
Classic
really
grandpa.
fun.
Yeah.
Classic grandma
nonetheless,
grandpa.
New York trip. I
Great
want
success.
a scale from 1 through 20 from everybody here. Grayson.
Like a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the number 7 a lot.
Oh, okay. Mine would be 3 because the palm reader said my lucky number was 3, and I feel lucky
That's
that I
awesome.
was able to go.
That
on
is a
this
good
trip.
Great,
number.
great. Bim?
18.
I'll go with 7 as well. And solid. Shut up! You handed me the mic. No, it's not my turn. You're right.
All right, JC. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I didn't hear any
Okay.
ratings from either of you. I would say 18 as well. More so because Chargle is turning 18.
Yay!
It's her birthday.
Speaking of which, Bim and I are very, very, very selfishly trying to make everyone stay for my birthday
For her
party on
18th
Saturday night.
Birthday.
It was so cool.
And guys, we're gonna make it happen. But for right now, I'm running out of steam. My stomach really hurts. I really have
yes.
to pee. It's time to go. Bye,
Please
guys.
go.
Bye.
Bye.